The Jake Asman Show will begin shortly. Thanks to all these great Patreon members who help support the show. Get your super chats ready. Jake will be here in just a moment. If you love the New York Jets, this is the place to be. And now, the Jake Asman Show.
The Jets report to training camp today. Aaron Glenn speaks later. Football is back. We're talking Jets roster, training camp battles, and a whole lot more. Keep it right here. The Jake Asman Show, live on a Tuesday, starts right now.
We sitting in here, we excited as hell.
Now it's time to get to work. Are you a happy guy?
Oh my goodness, let's go!
I haven't felt joy talking about the Jets in a long time. When they announced it, I went, yeah! Let's go! A new chapter for the Jets has started. Aaron Glenn and Darren Muji are tasked with shaping the future of this franchise. Will they be the ones to finally get it right? We will be here for every step of the journey on the Jake Asman Show, breaking down all the storylines, every game, and everything in between. Please subscribe and hit the like button below. Super chats, baby. Cut the line. The Jake Asman Show starts right now.
Happy Tuesday. The Jake Asman Show is live on the air, presented by PrizePicks. If you're new to the channel, make sure you are subscribed for daily Jet Talk. We are live twice a day at 10 a.m. Eastern and 4 p.m. Eastern, Monday through Friday throughout the season, and live after every single Jets game for a 3-hour post-game show featuring my reaction and your calls. If you ever miss any of the show, you could always listen back to anything you might have missed on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. So you can watch live on YouTube every day, or you can listen anywhere. Take the show on the go. With that, we say hello to a good friend of the program. He covers the Jets for Chat Sports, the Jet Report. Mike Giarraputo joins us now. Mike, happy training camp to you.
Jake, oh my goodness, it has been a long time coming. Every offseason, I just think, I've never been this excited for football. I'm going to say it again in 2026 for this Jets team. Jake, thanks for having me. We got some things to talk about today, finally.
That we do. And look, training camp always brings some sort of optimism, no matter how any Jet fan is feeling about the team. So we'll keep you covered every step of the way. Glenn will speak later today, so we will hit all his comments later on in my second show. But I want to play you some comments that were made on my Jets Collective podcast I co-host with ESPN's Rich Cimini and Brandon Tierney, the two guys on opposite ends of the spectrum in regards to just where this roster is at entering training camp. First, here's Rich Cimini saying the Jet roster is a bottom third roster in the NFL.
And let's face it, the Jets, I'm just talking real. I'm going to be real here. The Jets roster right now is a bottom third roster in the NFL. I don't think there's any question about that. I think for them to don't disagree with me, BT. I mean, there is no question there.
I didn't say anything. I'm listening to you.
I saw that they are a bottom third roster. However, the one caveat is I will say they have a lot of young players. You know, the Baileys, the Sadiqs, the Coopers, Ponds, guys like that, and even from last year with Membu and Taylor and Azaria Thomas. If those guys progress quickly, especially this year's rookie class, the top three guys in particular, then I think the ceiling for this team can rise quicker than anticipated. I think so much of their immediate future hinges on player development, and we can bring it right back to Aaron Glenn and his coaching staff. A major part of his job this year is going to be player development and getting those rookies on the field and getting them playing up to a high standard very quickly.
So that's Rich's take on the Jets roster. Now, this was Brandon Tierney's response to those comments from Rich Cimini.
It's real fast. I'm not vehemently disagreeing, Rich, but I do think that it's open to interesting levels of debate. I mean, at least on this level, right? And whether it's Gase or Kotite or any other wretched Jets outfit. How many times have we got into a season where we can honestly, objectively say the Jets running back room, pretty good. Jets O-line room, pretty good. Jets wide receiver room, pretty good. Jets tight end room, pretty good. Even the weaker aspects of the team, like linebacker and safety, have DeMario Davis, who might be one of the best leaders in football, and Minkah Fitzpatrick, and we don't know if he can still play, at the level that we need him to play at, but he's going to bring some intellect and some sage presence that should elevate the young guys. So I would disagree. Again, not crazy where we'll start screaming, oh, you're nuts to say that. I know what you mean, but I don't know that everybody shares that opinion that they were absolutely a bottom third roster, Rich. I got to be honest with you. I don't, not to the degree that you don't. I certainly don't.
Well, I'm basing my opinions on just talking to personnel people around the league and soliciting their input, and also what my eyes tell me and what I know. So, hey, they've had bottom third rosters in the past, like you said, with Gase and Kotite and those disasters in the past, but there was never really a lot of building blocks. Now I'm saying it's a bottom third roster, but I think they have some building blocks. And like if David Bailey comes in and can be, I'm not going to say he's a double-digit sacker right away. That's asking a lot. But if he can come in and be a consistent presence on the edge, maybe get 6 to 8 sacks, something in that neighborhood, well, that's a good thing. And that's a good building block. And that could take them to a level that they haven't been at. And the same thing with Sadiq and Cooper. And so I'm saying bottom third talent right now. If you guys caught on ESPN.com today, Alan Schatz, who does a great job around the league, he ranked the under 25 talent in the NFL, and he ranked the Jets number 7 in under 25 talent. I think last year they were somewhere in the 20s, and now they're up to number 7 in under 25-year-old talent. And I would agree with that. I'm just saying, as an overall roster, I'm saying bottom third.
Here's where I stand on it. I think they both can be right, but I lean more with the take they are a bottom third roster right now. Look, bottom third is different than bottom 3. I think some Jet fans were just looking for reasons to be mad at big bad Rich Cimini because he's so negative when Rich is an outstanding reporter and he's totally fair in his analysis there. Bottom third means you're 21st or 22nd downward towards 32. I think the Jets ended last season as one of the 3 worst rosters in the NFL. Then free agency happens. They added proven pros like Demario Davis and Minkah Fitzpatrick and David Onyemata and Joseph Asai, and they go out there and they add a proven veteran quarterback in Geno Smith, who no matter how anyone feels about him, he's way better than Justin Fields, as we know. Then they had 4 picks in the top 50 in the draft, including 2 in the top 16, right? The number 2 pick was added to this roster. Garrett's going to be healthy, so you factor him in. I think it's fair to say the Jet roster potentially went from one of the 3 worst in the NFL to, if some of these young players take a step forward, like Olu Fashanu and Armand Membu and Mason Taylor in his second year, and now you infuse some of this young talent that you're expecting big things from, the roster could definitely be better than bottom third at the end of the year. But right now, when we haven't seen it, and we're all questioning this coaching staff, especially the head coach, and whether or not he could actually develop his own, I think it's fair to say they're a bottom third roster in the NFL. I don't think there's anything Rich Cimini said there that people should be outraged over. That is totally fair. It's a bottom third roster with the potential to be a lot better than that when we hopefully have this conversation a year from now, previewing the next Jets training camp in 2027.
Yeah, let's hope so. I mean, I think it's fair to say that we were one of the more improved rosters in the National Football League, but to say we're already a top, 22, 21 roster in football just because we made those moves. Look, we got to see it. This team won 3 games last year. That was the worst. That was my least favorite Jets football team I've ever seen in my entire life, and that is saying a whole lot last year. Like those last 5 games of the season, it didn't even feel like we were an NFL team. Lost those games by 134 points combined. Like, that should not happen. So I can't go from that. That is we just have, some of us have very short memories as Jets fans, which might be a good thing to keep us a little bit sane, but we can't forget the last 5 weeks of the season, how it ended, what a disaster it was. I'm aware the talent wasn't there, but I got to see it first. As he said, like, a lot of building blocks, Jets with that talent under the age of 25. Bailey, you bring in Sadiq, Cooper, Pons, like, that is going to be legit talent on this team. But yeah, like Rich said, it's up to Aaron Glenn, this coaching staff, to actually develop those players. Like, this is a crucial season, and I have, as I'm sure you do too, a whole lot of question marks around this coaching staff. So yeah, as of right now, I think it's pretty fair to say what Rich said there.
I mean, you look at the Jets and their roster. The building blocks are in young players you expect to take significant leaps or to hit the ground running as NFL stars. David Bailey, you're expecting him to come in and be impactful. He doesn't need to be an all-pro. He doesn't need to be Myles Garrett. But when you take a player second overall, your expectation is this guy's going to help you win games immediately. He's going to develop into a superstar at some point. That's the expectation when you take Bailey. That's the expectation eventually when you take an outlier type of position of a tight end at number 16. You know, when you go out there and you look at this Jets team, if their young players get better, if they develop the way we think they can, this roster could be even better than 21. Like, let's say Geno's competent this year. Some of the younger players we're excited about, like Bailey, Pons, Azaria Thomas in his second year, all take a big step forward. This is like best case scenario.
Right.
If you added over the last 2 years, let's say 6 to 8 players that look like they're foundational pieces, that's more than most teams in the league. Like, again, that's like the pie in the sky optimistic perspective, and you got to see it from this team first. But there's no way they're not in way better position, I believe, a year from now. So I agree with Rich. They do have legit building blocks on this team, but we got to see these building blocks be molded first before we anoint the Jets. We've done this in the past, and we know how that works out. Let's just see it first before we say, they're not a bottom third roster in the league. Not bottom 3 teams, bottom third, folks. That's like 20 or 21. I'm not good at math. That's like 21 to 22-ish out of 32 teams. Like, I think that's fair to say the Jets might be closer to 21 or 22, but they're not a top 15 or top 18 roster in the league right now.
Yeah, and that should be the goal. I think most of our mindset right now should be, how do we set ourselves up in the best way possible to develop that next quarterback? And look, I'm not going to eliminate Cade Klubnik from being that next guy for us, but I just think he's got a tall hill to climb in terms of being that, let's say he's the quarterback in 2028, 2029 of this Jets football team. But our number one priority should be, let's have, no matter where we're picking next year, it's going to be a quarterback with our first pick next year. I think I can almost guarantee that. I don't want the national media to be saying about this Jets team, oh, well, that guy's screwed. He's a Jet. He's screwed. I want it to be, well, you have your 2 starting outside tackles. You have Joe Tippmann. You have, we'll see what Parham, and I don't love Myers at center, but you have 3 legit wide receivers. We'll see what A.D. Mitchell is. We'll see what Cooper is. We know what Garrett is. We know what Brees is. I want this to be a situation to where that quarterback walks in and says, hey, I'm lucky. I'm lucky to be here surrounded by all this talent, let alone we're also going to have a bunch of money to spend in free agency next year, 2 additional first-round picks that could be spent on offense. So, like, the main goal for this Jets team should be, let's set up our next quarterback in the best possible way, because let's face it, none of this matters unless we nail that next pick at QB.
I think it's spot on. And, the Jets have done something different than what they tried the last go-arounds. They took a young quarterback. They're trying to build the team first and then put that guy in a position where he doesn't actually need to carry them. Sanchez got to benefit from that back in 2009 when he stepped into a ready-made to win squad with an elite Hall of Fame level offensive line. Even you go back to Chad Pennington, and I'm going to mention Chad coming up here because our raffle prize today involves Chad Pennington today. You look at Chad, he developed, but he was playing on a Jets team that wasn't that far removed from being in the playoffs and going to an AFC title game, and the infrastructure was in place. The few times the Jets have had team success around a young quarterback they drafted, the roster was in a way better shape. They actually drafted the right quarterback in 2018 with Darnold. Guy's a Super Bowl champion. He's won 14-plus games for the last 2 years, but they failed him. And that comes down to coaching and roster and weapons and O-line and all that stuff that goes into helping a young quarterback develop. And I think no matter how anyone feels about Aaron Glenn, at least Darren Muji seemingly is doing his job to try and make the Jets the best possible destination for a young quarterback. In all likelihood, they're drafting very high with one of those 3 first-round picks next year, Mike.
Yeah, I think Muji has made it pretty obvious what he wants to do, at least this offseason. Bring in veteran leaders to establish some kind of culture. Look, nothing in the NFL matters if you don't have any kind of culture with your team, which obviously the Jets lacked any of that last year. Culture and, like I said, just setting up your next quarterback to be successful. Like you said, with Wilson and Darnold, we were trying to build the roster as we went along, whereas this time I feel like we finally learned our lesson after 15 years. Let's date back to Geno, Wilson, and Sam Darnold of, hey, let's just try to build this as we go, and hopefully the quarterback is developing as we develop. That's not really how the NFL works. So I think the Jets have finally learned their lesson. Muji has definitely seen what this Jets team has done in the past, tried to learn from the mistakes of guys like Joe Douglas, Mike McCagnon, Idzik way back in the day. But I just think, for the first time in a long time, I know there's some Joe Douglas truthers out there. I don't really understand it. He had one good draft. Other than that, it was a total crap show. But I think Muji is actually building this the right way. And for the first time in a while, it feels like we have the right guy in charge.
Comments, questions, super chats, cut the line. Today's daily raffle prize is a great one. Chad Pennington signed football, and it includes the display case that you see pictured there on the graphic image. So you get the ball and the case all included if you're the winner of our daily raffle prize. Enter by gifting a channel membership to your fellow Asmaniac, sending in a super chat, $10 or higher. That will get you 2 entries. $20 super chat will get you 4. 50 will get you 10. $100 super chat will get you 20. You get the point. New set of weekly prizes. The raffle will be Sunday this week on our show. This is our 82nd weekly raffle for all the great Asmaniacs who support the channel year round. Our top prize is a signed Darrelle Revis football, a signed Garrett Wilson football, and how about this? D'Angelo Pond signed helmet. Got to get the rookie involved here. So Pond signed helmet, that is up for grabs in the weekly raffle as well. Big shout out to Ozzy Fullers, who became the first listener to enter the raffle. He gifted 1 channel membership.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk some training camp storylines now, Mike. Not great news with Tavondre Sweat being placed on the NFI list. The reports are it's not serious. I'm sure Aaron Glenn will be asked about that later today. But this guy, I believe, is super important for the Jets, and him dealing with a hamstring injury that's going to sideline him here 2 weeks potentially, if not more. Not great when it's such a vital season for him playing in the middle of this 3-4 defense.
I think the worst part about this is, for me at least going into this year, I think the Jets defensive line was maybe from one year to another the most improved positional group in the National Football League. We saw last year zero pressure on opposing quarterbacks. And that level of the defense is going to affect every other level of the defense. And if you don't have a guy like Sweat there to plug up the run, rush the passer, like this could be a problem for the Jets. And we're talking about a guy who's 350 pounds with a hamstring injury. So it is, I'm not going to lie, like I'm pretty concerned about this. Like we'll see what Glenn says today. I'm sure there's not going to be too much of an update. He'll be like, yeah, we'll reevaluate it sometime. I think that's what we're going to get today. But yeah, Sweat, losing him, I'm not saying we're losing him for the season, but if he misses any time at all in the beginning of this Jets season, could be pretty detrimental to what we want to do on defense this year.
Hit the like button if you're just joining us. Comments, questions, your super chats, they cut the line. Today's Jake Asman show is presented by my friends at ZipRecruiter. Listen up, Asmaniacs. ZipRecruiter, they're here for you. One thing I've learned from doing this show is the Asmaniacs, they always go the extra step. That's what ZipRecruiter is going to be able to help you do. Great candidates are discovered on ZipRecruiter. Here's how ZipRecruiter could help you. They have a feature that shows you the most interested qualified candidates for the role you're looking to fill first. So you're going to meet the right people faster. You could try ZipRecruiter, meet great candidates who will go the extra step for your job, just like the Asmaniacs always go the extra step. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try it for free today at ZipRecruiter.com/audio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/audio. ZipRecruiter, meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Geno Smith, Mike, we know he's not going to deal with any real legal problems as camp opens today. What are your expectations for Geno going into his second stint with the New York Jets?
Well, it shouldn't be as bad as the first one, and it also shouldn't be as bad as what we saw in Vegas last season, right? Because last season in Vegas, I think that's what everybody is thinking about right now if you're a Jets fan. And we've kind of just forgotten. The other day, I think it might have been yesterday, 2 days ago, he just straight up posted his stats since 2022. He's really, since then, he's been a top 12 quarterback. Obviously, last year, major step back, but he was dealing with, and this is something that Jets fans should appreciate, one of the worst offensive lines we've really ever seen at the NFL level. A horrific play calling. I'm not saying he played well, but I think Jets fans, it's fair to expect for this to be the best quarterback play that we've gotten, I guess, since Rodgers in 24, and if you want to date back further, since Fitzpatrick back in 2015. I mean, Geno, we know he has the talent to do it, and I'm excited to watch him because I think the Jets, they're going to let Geno actually air this football out, and it's really not something we saw last year. I think it's something that we were probably incapable of doing last year, regardless whether we wanted to see it or not, but I think our expectation should be for Geno to be I'd say if I had to put a number on it, like borderline top 20 quarterback. And if we can get that, this could be a pretty competitive Jets team in 2026.
I mean, there's no doubt he's a significant upgrade over what we saw last year.
Oh, yeah.
I do think the offensive line is going to give him time to throw. My big fear with Geno is what if he's just lost it? Like, guys sometimes just lose it, and he's going to be 36 in October. You know, is he going to be able to handle some adversity with the Jets if they get off to a bad start? You know, is he going to be bashful in the media? Is he going to get ugly? You know, those are the type of things I worry about, just his maturity. I thought he had matured a ton, but some of the stuff this offseason with the getting pulled over twice and not having a license each time, it just, I don't know. You don't see other franchise quarterbacks around the league doing all that, to quote Fireman Ed from our show yesterday. So I just think he's got to prove a lot. That said, I do think he's highly motivated because forget just the Jets. Like, this could be Geno's last chance to be a starter for any team in the league. If he bombs out with the Jets like Fields did last year, he's going to be a backup somewhere. He's not starting again. Like, Geno Smith got a starting job, no questions asked, after he quarterbacked the team that finished with the worst record in the league, had the #1 pick. Like, that ain't happening 2 years straight, and you're still getting an opportunity to start somewhere at age 36. So this is a gigantic year for Geno if he wants to get another contract, not just from the Jets, but from someone as a starter. And I don't need to tell you and my audience how significant the level of contract it is to be either a backup or a starter. Justin Fields got $30 million guaranteed, and he had done nothing to put it in some perspective here.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you nailed it there, Jake. I mean, the opportunity that Geno has with the Jets this year could very well be his last one to be a starter in the National Football League. And it's not just the opportunity to be a starter. Like, he has to realize the significance of what this would mean for him, how he'd be looked at, like his legacy as a quarterback in the NFL, what he would do for this Jets franchise. Look, if he is the guy that pulls us out of this 15-year drought, and I'm not saying that that's something that I'm expecting in 2026, but he has to realize, like, being the quarterback of the New York Jets, it's unlike any other job in the universe, right? Because the Jets fans are just so hopeful every season that this guy can be the guy that finally, like, this could be the guy that finally gets us out of it. And if we get any kind of play from Geno that resembles, whether it's 2022, 23, or 24, like, that will be the best quarterback play that we've had in a decade. So he has to realize, like, not only the significance of being the starter of the Jets, but yeah, this could very well be his last chance. You said it, turning 36 in October. He needs to button it up a little bit. I didn't love what I saw this offseason, just way too much noise. And that's something that I think Muji and Glenn have done a good job. And that's one of the few things I could point to. Look, all they have under their belts right now is a 3-14 season, but they've done a good job of keeping like this outside noise away from the Jets. They get here, they get rid of Rodgers. Like, they kind of just get rid of all the headaches, the possible distractions. They've done a good job of that. Geno didn't help this offseason, but yeah, really understand the opportunity to be the quarterback of this Jets team, to be a starter in the NFL, is something that you can't squander this season.
Hit the like button if you're just joining us. Mike Giarraputo from Chat Sports, the Jet Report, is our guest. We're giving away a signed Chad Pennington football with the display case included at the end of today's program. We also have the Azzy Awards that we will vote on once again every day until we get through all 22 of our awards that the committee put together. Will be voted on once per show. Today's Azzy Award is the most anticipated return award. Which one of these Asmaniacs do you want to see return to the show with a call-in? The nominees today are Alan, JJ, Mets 2128, and Morgan, who is Gary 3D Boxing's nanny. Oh, baby. Those are the nominees for the Azzy Awards. Right now, time for you to vote. The voting for this morning's Azzy Award is underway.
Cast your vote for the best. It's time for the Azzy Award. It's time for the Azzy Award. Cast your vote for the best. It's time for the Azzy Award.
Vote, vote, vote. Your vote determines who wins the Azzy at the end of the show. Big shout out to our guy, John J. Williams, with, you guessed it, his patented $10 L. 2 raffle tickets purchased for John. Good luck, John. You're playing to win a Pennington signed football.
Hello? You play to win the game.
Comments, questions, super chats, they always cut the line. Hit the like button if you're just joining us. Other storylines to hit on. In terms of the defense, Mike, we hit on Tavondre Sweat earlier and the defensive line. Give us some other storylines with this defense. Glenn taking over the play calling there, called it his superpower. What are you looking for this summer from the Jet D?
Yeah, I'm looking at this linebacker group right now for the Jets, and beyond Davis and Sherwood, we really don't have much. So I think it would be smart if the Jets were to bring somebody in just to kind of be that rotational guy. And also just with this group, the fact that Davis is going to be the captain of this defense, I don't think Sherwood was really ready for it last year, and it showed. I mean, that was a horrific season, especially for a guy you're paying $15 million a season. So I think really just with this defense in general, the veteran leadership that we brought in, will this defense look anything like it did in 2025? We all hope the answer is no, and I don't think it's going to. You have Glenn now calling these plays on defense, which supposedly is superpower. We'll see how that works out for him. I mean, the last time he called plays on defense, his team let up 38 points at home after a bye week, but we'll see what happens for him this season. But I think the linebacking group is something that I'm looking forward to seeing in action. Demario Davis, yeah, he's 37 years old. And a lot of people are thinking, like, why are the Jets doing this? It seems like a lot of the moves that the Jets made, at least how some people would view them, bringing in Minka, bringing in Demario Davis, bringing in Onyemata, people are like, well, those are the kind of moves that contending teams should be making. But I disagree with that. I'd say the Jets, like, they lacked this veteran leadership last season. Bring in as many guys to actually form some cohesion in that locker room, especially on the defensive side of the ball. I'm really looking forward to that this year.
I think when you look at this defense, so much of it is the secondary and who emerges at safety, who emerges at corner.
Mm-hmm.
You're expecting to see a guy like D'Angelo Ponce start sooner rather than later. I think he wins a job outright this summer, and he's starting week 1. I think if you look at Azareye'h Thomas.
Yeah, where do you think Ponce is going to be playing?
I think he's the starting nickel week 1.
Okay, yeah, me too. Okay.
Azareye'h Thomas on the outside, Brandon Stevens on the other. That, I think, is the dream scenario, if you want to call that a dream. But the best-case scenario for the Jets, if Azareye'h wins the job and Ponce wins the other job in the slot, because then you're getting not proven, but you're getting experience for young guys. So hopefully at the end of the year, we feel like they're proven commodities now for this defense, more of the building blocks we discussed at the top of the show going forward for this team.
Yeah, I think with Ponce, it's interesting because he only played 4 snaps in the slot last year for Indiana. So I thought when we drafted him, you had everybody saying, like, oh, he's going to be in the nickel. He's going to be playing slot for the Jets. But I was like, I don't think so, because I saw him play on the outside really, really well for Indiana his last season. I saw him lock up Denzel Boston. I saw him give Jeremiah Smith some problems even. Like, I guess he's going to be in the slot. You don't think it's going to be Nashawn Wright over AZ Thomas? I think just the fact that we spent $5 million, the fact that he had 5 picks last year, we haven't had one in over a season. I do think Wright is going to beat out Thomas. I'd probably say I'm rooting for Thomas, just based off the fact that he's the younger player and Sean Wright's only on a 1-year deal. But I do think Wright is going to beat him out. And Stevens actually wasn't as bad as a lot of us thought last season. Like, from weeks, I know there was the very end of the season and the very beginning of the season, he was one of the worst cornerbacks in the National Football League. But from weeks 4 to 14, he was actually probably like a top 15 cornerback, considering everything and what this Jets defense was in the NFL. So the secondary, yes, I have question marks. I do think it's the weakest part of our defense, but I'm looking forward to Minka kind of captaining those guys, and he might be playing some nickel as well. He played a lot of it last year for the Miami Dolphins.
Yeah, they could use him all over the place. There's certainly no doubt about that. I think Deshaun Wright is a guy that will get a chance to be a starter. You watch his film back, though, and I had Joe Blewett on, who did a great breakdown just on his season. While he does come up with some takeaways, he gives up a lot of big plays. I think Azareye'h Thomas's film last year was better when he got a chance to play. He just didn't get a chance to play that much because he wasn't starting at the beginning of the year. Sauce Gardner obviously was. And post-Sauce trade, he got a chance, and then he got hurt. But he looked good in the limited amount of times we saw him. So I do think Azareye'h Thomas is flying a bit under the radar this summer. I think he's a guy that we're going to be pleasantly surprised with this year.
Yeah, I talked to the guy who hosts the Bears channel for us here at Chat Sports, and he was like, yeah, good luck. Good luck with Deshaun Wright. Because, yeah, you get those takeaways. Last season was far and away his best year, but it's like you're going to be screaming out his name a few times on Sundays. Like, he's that kind of player. So I'm looking forward to, hopefully he can be the guy that gets a few interceptions for us this season. Lord knows we desperately need them, but I am rooting for AZ Thomas. He's the younger player. He's on the rookie deal. We could have him for longer than we can Deshaun Wright. So we'll see what happens with him. But I believe it with the Deshaun Wright tape. I know it wasn't all pretty aside from the interceptions there.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's give some love to the great Janice Jed, who just entered the Asmaniac raffle for 10 entries on the wheel. She gifted 10 channel memberships. Boom. Janice in the raffle for 10 total entries. If you hear your name called, you're a channel member. Gangrene David, Richard Galati, Aronimus, Tom Ruck, DD King, N Messina 9, Backbreaker 73, Beastbreakers Bidet, Dime 1271, N Zamiki, and Ray Danger, all receiving a gifted channel membership from the great Janice Jet. Happy birthday to Green Gang, who says, "Hey Jake, much love to you and the Asmaniacs. It's my birthday today. Can't wait to see you and the Asmaniacs this weekend." Well, one, happy birthday again, Green Gang.
Happy
and
birthday,
two,
man.
come on down to our training camp meetup after the Jets practice Saturday morning. We're headed to the Cloverleaf Tavern, the home of Chef Kevin, the Asmaniac Madness champion. We're going to have an awesome, awesome time. I'm putting together some great raffle prizes for everyone who's showing up, including some signed items by Wayne Crabette, Darrell Revis, and some other all-time great Jets. I don't want to spoil all the prizes, but I'm working on some big stuff for people who are making the trip. It's free to attend. RSVP. There'll be some complimentary food and drinks for folks. Going to be a custom Asmaniac food menu that Chef Kev's putting together, and the chef-off between Chef Kevin and Chef Brian Morales. So get there around 11:15, 11:30-ish, and we will be there after the Jets practice at 8 a.m. on Saturday. And let me say this to any Jet fan who has extra tickets to this practice they can't use. Tickets are very scarce because of all the renovations going on at the facility. So it's been very hard to get listeners extra tickets for this. If anyone can't make it, please email me, asmanjake@gmail.com, and I promise you your tickets will go to people who definitely could use them and go to the meetup afterwards at the Cloverleaf Tavern. Hit the like button if you're just joining us. We're going to keep going with some storylines here. We're going to get to your calls as well. Let me talk about a brand new sponsor. My mattress is coming today from Brooklyn Bedding. I am pumped up. By the end of today, my brand new mattress from Brooklyn Bedding will have arrived. Between hosting the show, doing all the extra radio this summer, traveling, talking about the Jets and the season coming up, spending so many hours a day talking about this team, it's exhausting. And I need to make sure I get a good night's sleep. And that is why I got myself a Brooklyn Bedding mattress on its way. They got options for every type of sleeper. You could use temperature regulating materials so you could stay cool at night. That's my big problem. I get hot. I always need a fan on me. This is supposed to really help, so I can't wait for that. You could try a 120-night comfort trial so you can mix and match the options you prefer. And look, I spend enough time losing sleep over the Jets. I don't need my mattress contributing to that problem. You can go to brooklynbedding.com, promo code Jake at checkout, 30% off site-wide during their current summer sale. That's brooklynbedding.com, promo code Jake for 30% off site-wide with that code. In terms of now the backup quarterback situation, Mike, you know there's going to be a ton of discussion about Cade Klubnik all summer. Give me your thoughts on him as of now going into camp, where it feels like he's getting a real shot at being the backup to Geno Smith week one.
So I think for Klubnik, not only am I rooting for him, I think Jets fans are rooting for him, and I think this Jets coaching staff is rooting for him to win this job because they made the trade up to get him. He seemed to be their guy there on day 3 of the NFL draft. And if he gets beat out by Bailey Zappi, I don't know when he's going to ever play for this Jets team, and might have another Christian Hackenberg situation on our hands here. But it looks like we're not going to be bringing in another quarterback. And I think if we were, it's not going to be, let's say, in the next week. I think it's going to be after the preseason, kind of right before the year. If we don't see enough out of whether it's Cade Klubnik or Bailey Zappi, I think we're done kind of talking about Brady Cook, aren't we? I think he's going to be off this football team by the time training camp ends. My thought, and I've had this thought since we drafted him, Klubnik is going to be the QB2 of this Jets football team going into the season. And I do think he has the talent to do it. I think we have to see it in the preseason. I don't think he's just going to get handed this job. I don't think Zappi's going to be handed this job. I don't think a free agent is just going to be handed this job. We're going to have to see it through camp. This is a legitimate battle. I don't think the Jets staff has their mind made up. They may have a lean. They may be rooting for Cade Klubnik, but I don't think they have their minds made up in any way, shape, or form going into camp here.
I think this is one of those things where they're going to give him a shot, but they're also going to be looking at other teams and seeing if someone shakes free that could be considered an upgrade. Could be Andy Dalton, who's got familiarity with Frank Reich. Maybe it's Spencer Rattler with the Saints, as they got a bunch of quarterbacks. Like, there's some names out there that could become available. Maybe if you're the Jets, you have a veteran that you have a handshake agreement with, like Cooper Rush or Jimmy G, for example, that are still free agents and are out there. Like, remember, this team added Nick Folk, 2 weeks into camp. So Darren Muji's shown that he'll go into camp thinking one thing and then pivot if he's not liking what he's seeing. So I could see that being the case at QB, but I think they really do like Klubnik. Clearly they do. They traded up for him. I think they're going to give him a real shot to be, the backup going into the year, which if he wins the job because he's deserving of a grade, you are a little nervous, though, that God forbid something happens to Geno and you're starting a 4th-round rookie quarterback, what that could do for the rest of the season.
Right. I don't think for Klubnik or Zappy, it's them beating out the other guy, and that's it. I think if Klubnik looks better than Zappy, he's also going to have to look, at least competent and have a good feel of the offense. And he missed mandatory minicamp with that back injury. So, I'm not sure how advanced he is in terms of this playbook. We'll see it in training camp. We'll see it in the preseason, but I don't think they're just competing against each other. I think they're competing against each other and guys like you said, Cooper Rush. Maybe I'll even throw in like Anthony Richardson, Will Levis, Aiden O'Connell's on his final year with the Vegas Raiders. They have 3 quarterbacks now. Like, that's a name that I look at as well. So it should be really, really interesting. But look, I'm going to admit it. I am rooting for Cade Klubnik to win this job. I would love for him to be the QB2 of this team. And let's say the Jets aren't playing well. Let's say Geno were to go down. Klubnik comes in, provides competent quarterback play. That'd be a really, really good thing for this Jets team, whether or not he's going to be the quarterback of the future.
Doc Jet fan mentioned Aiden O'Connell. So, yeah, I mean, look, there's guys out there. And we'll see if the Jets truly believe they found maybe a diamond in the rough with Cade Klubnik. Time will certainly tell on that one. If you're watching live, click the thumbs up button. That's the like video. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel. We have had a tremendous amount of growth this offseason, and it speaks volumes considering how quiet it has really been the last couple of months. We're about 55 subscribers away from 46,000 right before training camp here. So God forbid the Jets ever gave us a good season, what it would do for all our channels. But big thank you to all the Asmaniacs out there who continue to support. If you want to come to the Jet Dolphin meetup on October 25th, we were able to sell some more tickets to some Asmaniacs who are Patreon members last night. So now we have 39 of the 70 allotted. These are going to go quick when I make it open to the general public. So if you're a Patreon user, take advantage of the exclusive access you get to these group tickets, $150 each. You can reserve up to 4. We'll have a tailgate in the morning that day. And then remember, we're all going to be sitting in section 146, and your tickets include a post-game field pass to go on the MetLife Stadium turf. Hopefully you don't tear your ACL after the game that day for a group photo. So if you want to join us on October 25th, for those of you who came out to the event against the Panthers last year or the Texans the year prior, that's our home game meetup this year. Jets, Dolphins, October 25th. Reserve your spot if you have not already done so. Patreon.com/It's Jake Asman Show. Mike, give me a bold prediction for training camp this summer.
Prediction for training camp. Maybe it's that Omar Cooper looks better than A.D. Mitchell. Is that considered bold at this point? I feel like we've heard so many things. I couldn't open my damn phone this summer and not see, oh my God, look at what A.D. Mitchell's doing in a red jersey and in shorts. Like, look, I don't mind A.D. Mitchell, but I think gun to my, like, who's the more talented player between A.D. Mitchell and Omar Cooper? Isn't it Omar Cooper? Like, why are we relegating Cooper to this slot receiver? And look, I know that's what he did last season at Indiana. I think he was kind of forced to do that with Elijah Surratt and Charlie Becker, but I think Omar Cooper is the more talented receiver than Eddie Mitchell. Am I crazy for saying that after all we've heard through, May, June, and July here, Jake?
I don't think so. I mean, look, Eddie Mitchell's got to prove it, as does Cooper, but I mean, the Jets traded back into round 1 for Omar Cooper Jr. And he played slot last year, but you could see his tape from 2 years ago at Indiana. He played on the outside, so he could do both. I like the flexibility they have with him to kind of use him as a chess piece all over.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was a necessary pick. I mean, I think we kind of knew, Jets fans knew, and you and I knew when we were trading up 3 picks to 30, it was going to be Omar Cooper. We had heard so much buzz around him at the 16th pick, but yeah, he was a major contributor for that Indiana team that won the national championship. So I do think Cooper right now, I think, is a more talented receiver than AD Mitchell. Like I like Mitchell, and we saw something from him last season. He had over 100 yards in that Falcons game, 8 catches for a touchdown. Like I think we see it. It's there with Mitchell. I think we have a decent receiving core now, which we haven't had in quite some time here. But I think for Cooper, there are more ways to use him than just in the slot. We shouldn't do what Indiana did just because they absolutely had to. I think just because you have AD Mitchell, I don't think that should change what Omar Cooper's role is in 2026 with the Jets.
Green Gang 3652 on his birthday. He gifted the community 10 channel memberships. Hey, now let's go.
Just don't let go of the rope.
Never, Green Gang. We will see you on Saturday. Hit the Jet chant for him. Here are the people who received a membership from the birthday boy. Everyone say happy birthday to Green Gang, who's going to be at our meetup at Cloverleaf Tavern this Saturday. Aaron Ordine, Josh English, Sir Moist 1190, Kim Blandino, Dixon Sider, Christopher Leon, JR327, Darius Richards, Rich W40, Anthony Sally, USA, all receiving a gifted channel membership there from Green Gang 3652. Mike, I'll get you out of here with this question, and we'll have you on before the year so you can change your answer when I ask you then. But looking at the Jets right now, on a day they all report the training camp, predict the Jet record for 2026.
Let's go 6-11. I think, again, I agree with Rich. This is probably right as of this very moment a bottom 3 roster. So I think 6-11 is kind of the medium between. The worst case is we don't improve at all. Aaron Glenn is, again, he's a horrific head coach like we saw he was last season. I think there is room for improvement. If we get contributions, if we have nailed all those 4 picks with Bailey, Cooper, Sadiq, and even guys from the years prior like Membu and Fashanu take big steps up, this could be a team that's playing meaningful football in late November, early December. I think as of right now, I think a fair thing to say for this Jets team, let's go 6-11.
That's kind of where I'm at too, around 6 wins.
Yeah.
With the upside being greater than that, of course, but man, getting out to a good start. That game against Salah and the Titans.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, it's gigantic.
I think it's going to be an entirely different season if we win week 1. If we win week 1 and there is hope around this Jets team and we're going into MetLife and there's a home opener white out against Green Bay and we have a crowd there, this could be a really different season. Week 1, a lot. I know it's just the one out of 17, but a lot hinges on that game with the belief in the locker room, in this coaching staff, and just the overall vibe of this team as we head into the season. And it does scare me a little bit being on the road against a team that probably will improve like the Jets in 2026 as with the Tennessee Titans there.
Oh, man. No doubt about it. Mike, thanks so much for coming on. Continue success with Jet Report.
Thank you very much, Jake. Always a pleasure. Talk to you before the year. Let's have a good season this year, huh?
Let's go. Let's go. Mike Giarraputo with us there, talking all things Jets. I got time for some calls, open phone lines for those of you who want in on the conversation. We're presented today by PrizePicks. How about a Will McDonald season sack prop that PrizePicks is now offering? It's 7.25, meaning do you think Will McDonald will have at least 7.5 sacks or more this year? It's interesting. David Bailey's number is around 5.5. It's 5.75. So McDonald is projected to have more than the number 2 pick in the draft. And I got to be honest here. I would lean more, but I'm not confident in this. McDonald did do this last year, and the team had no semblance of a defense. But remember, 4 of his 8 came in one game. So I would lean more here, but I'm not like as confident in this as I am with some of the other prize pick options we presented here. But if you're making me give a play, and this is now available on PrizePicks, as are a bunch of future options for Jet players, I would go more here. I think he does get at least 8 sacks this season. At least 7.5 is what you would need to win. So if you like this this prop, you can include it in any of your PrizePick lineups for the upcoming season. Play your first $5, get $150 in lineups if you win. If you sign up using the code HMA, click the link in the description for my show. Use that code and give yourself a chance to make your own lineup and win some money. Shout out to PrizePicks for being our presenting sponsor. Doc Jet fan checks in and says, who is a candidate for a surprise cut during training camp. And thanks kindly, Jake, for the Cooper jersey. Doc, your jersey has officially been ordered. Doc Jeff fan yesterday won a Jets jersey of a first-round pick, and he's going with a Omar Cooper Jr. jersey. As far as the question here, who's a surprise cut candidate? I mean, I probably would look at the linebacker room and the D-line room, right? I don't think anyone is a real surprise there. I don't know. Would Tim Patrick be a surprise? Like, what if Omar Cooper just looks ready to go or Arian Smith shows a pulse? Like, they're paying him basically the minimum, and he's already injured. So could he be someone they cut? I'm looking at him. I mean, it's too easy to say one of their kickers. That wouldn't be a surprise if they're not any good. Who else? Brady McGregor could be cut if you want to talk defensive line. Tyler Barron, God knows what he does. He's already hurt as well. Maybe we just don't see him at all this year. Who knows? Surprise cut candidate here. I don't think Mozzie Smith would be a surprise on the D-line. They're not going to cut Sherwood. They're paying him. I mean, I maybe Cisco, but he's making the minimum. So, like, could we be that surprised if he's cut? Like, he has to earn a spot. He's going to be the penciled-in starter going into camp, but he's going to have to earn it. I don't know. I'm too close to this to answer the question, right? Because we cover in depth, like, the third-string linebacker battle on the show. So maybe some of these names would be a bigger surprise to, like, people who aren't locked into Daily Jet content in late June and July, like my audience is, and I am. I don't know if Marcelino McCrary ball spot is that safe, or Michael Walker. Like, if the Jets can improve at linebacker behind DeMario Davis and Sherwood, I'd imagine they would. So I'll say either Tim Patrick or one of those two linebackers I mentioned. That's a good question, though, Doc. Appreciate the super chat. Hit the like button if you're joining us. Comments, questions, and, of course, the super chats. We'll cut the line on the show. If you're just tuning in, a Chad Pennington signed football is up for grabs on today's show. So make sure you enter the raffle for your chance to win. We got a new set of weekly prizes now this Sunday. It's a Darrelle Revis signed ball. It's a Garrett Wilson signed football. And it's a D'Angelo Pons signed helmet, baby. So a current New York Jet, two of them, one rookie and one unquestioned veteran captain, leader of the team, and Garrett Wilson. Let's hit your phone calls now. The link to call in is pinned. That is the Gusbuster Umbrella call-in line. So click that, and you could join the StreamYard program here. You'll sign in. We'll put you up, and we'll talk some Jets football. Also, make sure you vote in the Azzy Awards. The award up for grabs at the end of the show today is the most anticipated return award. And right now, Gary's Nanny is leading with 38% of the vote. Allen at 33%. JJ at 17%. Mets 2128 sitting there in last at 12%. This afternoon on the program, we're going to give out the What the F Are You Talking About award. The nominees are Beastbreaker, Mad Max, Sean, and Scott. Up for grabs this afternoon, the WTF Are You Talking About award. Ladies and gentlemen, a man nominated for that award is on the line. He's won many awards. Does he have another one in him later today?
Ladies and gentlemen, this 256-pound man, the 8-time Superstar of the Year with 2 Grand Slams, 3-time Dancing Champion of the Year, 3-time Announcer of the Year, 3-time Man of the Year, 2-time Asmaniac of the Month, 2-time Manager of the Year, 2-time Comeback Player of the Year, 2-time Home Run Hitting Champion, 2-time FTW Champion, 2-time Superstar of the Decade, 2-time Rookie of the Year, 1-time Party of the Year, 1-time Football Coach of the Year, 1-time Wildest Hair of the Year, and 1-time Bake Off Champion 1996.
And I'm just getting started.
It's the Great Beast Breaker.
Just like Bobby Knight, just like Bill Parcells, just like Bill Walsh and many others that have walked that line. I still walk. I still got a long journey ahead of me. See, the road begins at the back of the tunnel until you see that light. See, the light to Jesus begins when you start walking at a great road. You got to think of the positives in life. You got to think about the things that you think about in life, like your grandkids, your future, what you want to do in the next 30 years from now when we're in space. Think about the future, because why? There's not going to be many of us left Many of us will stay. Many of us will go. You don't know when the apocalypse will come. We don't know what's going to happen yet. Think of the book of Revelations. That time has come in a big way. And I'm very thankful to say life has brought me here. Jesus has brought me here. My grandkids, my daughter, the fans, the supporters, the real stars of today. And to all the haters, you don't know your ass from a hole in the ground, because if lightning came down, you'd run scared shitless and you'd be peeing in your pants, crying to mama and going, "Oh, I wet myself. I wet myself."
Yeah, you know, B, sometimes I don't know what the hell you're talking about.
Should be a fascinating vote this afternoon for the What the F is This Guy Talking About award. Ladies and gentlemen, more of your calls. We will see this man in person on Saturday at the Cloverleaf Tavern. It's the champ.
He's always cooking or coaching or flashing his green. This man is cooking or kicking as maniac as he's at the tailgate. He's cooking, blowtorching his food. A diehard Jets legend, the chef they call Kevin. Chef Kevin.
Jake, what's up, my brother? How you doing, man?
Chef Kev, the countdown is on.
Come on, let's go, man. We got the training camp coming up, man. Like, yes, I'm excited. I can't wait to see what Glenn has been able to do with these guys, Muji, bringing in the talent and everything like that. Just thinking about, the topic at hand, bottom third. I mean, I agree. I don't see what teams we've leapfrogged, what we jumped over from, the draft and free agency to now that no games have been played. So we can't really evaluate how much of a stretch that we've gotten, like how we improved. So for that, we gotta, after week one, man, that's when I can honestly put in my 2 cents and be like, you know what? Yeah, we are here, or maybe upper third, who knows? But for now, man, like that offensive line, I personally feel like it was better last year. We lost AVT. I get the injuries, but we lost him, lost Simpson. I don't really see how we got better at that offensive line position, but we do have some really good pieces. Those 3 cats, man, like young pieces.
They get better.
Forward.
That's how it's better. If Membu's better in year 2, which I think he will. Olu's better in year 3, which I think he will. Titman's better in year 4. Now that he's paid, I think he will. That's how it gets better. It's like the young players develop. It's the same offensive line coach. So there's continuity. I think that's how it happens.
I hope, man, because it's also then what are we doing on offense? Are we able to move the ball? If we can't move the ball, everybody's at fault, including Gino and Frank. So if we could move and get some points on the board, then okay, yeah, I could buy into that. But other than that, we could argue and debate. But if we're not putting points on the board, if we're not moving the ball, if Brees can't get more yards than last year, then what are we even doing? Then we're in the same nonsense. We have the same talking points that we've been doing, man. We got to change all that stuff, man. And it starts with the wins, the defense, man. Like, happy birthday to Green Gang, man. Like, if y'all seen Green Gang, like, yo, if he walked on and tried out for linebacker, he could beat out some of those cats, man. I'll take Green Gang at the will any day of the week. Definitely, man. But other than that, man, I really don't have too much. I do agree with y'all with that roster. Hopefully, we could see an improvement, man. The training camp, like what Mike was saying before, I think Aaron Smith, I think he might be a little bit of a liability at that wide receiver position. Cooper, hopefully he could step up. Isaiah Williams, doing some stuff with him, some gadget stuff. Like I could see that stuff working out. But Aaron Smith, if he's just gonna be a gunner, man, then I don't really see too much out of him. Like what we can do. Yeah, he was a day 3 pick. I don't know, Jake, man. Like the roster isn't like just flying off the paper. Like there's not a lot of stars over here. I'm not really seeing much. It's just for next season, that draft, man, where we have those 3 first-round picks. That's where I can really see the stuff kind of gelling with the Mason stuff. Hopefully, man, that's it. Hopefully they got the plan. AG uses superpowers and really applies himself, man. And we get these wins. That's what I'm waiting for. And I'm also waiting for Chef Brian, man. I'm waiting for Chef Brian this Saturday, man. I don't want to hear no excuses. I don't want to hear anything. Our kitchen equipment works great. We're gonna see if you know how to cook a burger. All right, we're gonna see if you can make a sandwich. Hey, I mean, I've been calling out Chef Brian, man. He called in last week when I was on with Robbie Sabo, and we was talking about the blackjack and all that. Brian called in shirtless and all that. He feels confident that he gonna win. It's different when those lights is on, man. And I'm playing at home. So Brian, you better come with him, man. You don't call in. I think he's nervous. He's not in his restaurant. He's not in the lab. He's not getting busy. There's a lot of this stuff, Brian. We gonna be here. The Asmaniacs, they keep it real, man. They keep it a buck. If I'm not on my game, I expect Asmaniacs, to call me out and stuff. That's the culture, man. That's what we got. That's the community. But I expect you to step up and really bring it, man. Let's do it, Brian. Don't just show up on Saturday. Call in and tell us what you got, how you can beat me. I'd love to see that, man.
Let's go. Kev, it's going down, baby. Can't wait.
Let's go. See you Saturday. Let's go, Jets.
Jet up. Let's go.
Maybe we'll invite Geno Smith. We'll just say, don't drive. We'll call you an Uber. Comments, questions, super chats. Cut the line. I got open phone lines for anyone who wants in on the conversation. Doc Jet fan, who asked the question about a surprise cut, says Arian Smith is his. I actually mentioned I didn't think he was going to be on the team, but then I heard Banjo talk about how good of a gunner he is. I haven't done a 53-man roster prediction. I'll wait till we get a little in the training camp for that. I don't think it's what's the point of doing it now? So I'll wait a little bit. But how many receivers are you keeping? Garrett, AD, Cooper, Isaiah Williams. He played a little last year, and he was the team MVP because of his special teams prowess. You have Arian Smith and Tim Patrick. Are you going to keep 6 receivers? I don't think they need 6 receivers, but I don't know what their thought process is. Because, again, you're going to have, pass catches or targets, I should say, to Sadiq and Taylor. If you keep 6 receivers, would those be the 6? I don't think Jamal Pritchett is making the team. He couldn't play at all last year, so now he's going to make the 53. Literally, they never gave him a chance in the game. He was on the practice squad all year. I don't know. Is Scott G going to make the team? That's an actual guy on the Jets. I think it's actually G. Scott. Or Jalen Wathel or DT Sheffield. Malik McLean. I don't know. We'll see how significant the Tim Patrick injury is. Maybe they add someone. J-Quest says Beck is his surprise cut. Little trivia. Andrew Beck was the first ever transaction Darren Muji made as a general manager. He signed him after he got the job. All right, open phone lines for those of you who want in on the show. Right now, there's only one man who's on hold. Austrian Jet fan is in the Asmaniac raffle. For one, he gifted a channel membership. Let's go.
Yeah, here we come, baby. Here we come. Here come the Jets, baby.
Veteran Jet fan says, I think the Jets keep 5 receivers. Arian stays over Patrick because of Arian's special teams role. I think Patrick was just signed as insurance. You really don't have any veterans in that room. Garrett is considered a veteran at this point. He's been paid. So he's a veteran. But then after that, Omar Cooper's a rookie. A.D. Mitchell's incredibly unproven. He's going into his 3rd season in the league. Arian Smith is in his 2nd year. Isaiah Williams is not a veteran. He's bounced around a little bit. So I think Tim Patrick was just added for basically the minimum because they just wanted to get someone in there who's a pro. I think that's how you got to look at it. Comments, questions, super chats, cut the line. Nick Shine says, isn't Pritchard on the Bills? No, he's not on the Bills. The Bills did add someone from the Jets. That came out. I'm trying to remember which player that was. They picked up someone. Quentin Skinner they picked up. The Jets waived him. The summer of Skinner last year. Remember that? Be interesting to see if they do keep Andrew Beck, though, because that is not a bad name to bring up. Like, could Jeremy Rucker do what Andrew Beck does? Now that you have seemingly Sadiq and Taylor, who should play more than him. Like, I would train Jeremy Ruckert as a fullback. Ryan writes in, this is our guy, ISU. Funniest thing ever, ISU's workplace bans YouTube, so we can't watch the show on YouTube. So because I also stream the show on the Jake Asman and Jake Asman Show X accounts, he's able to consume the show. I'm not sure how you could say AVT is a loss to this particular line when he didn't play a single game for us. Yeah, I agree with that. And I also would say this, the Jet O-line should be better this year because there's continuity and younger players get better. And I think Dylan Parham could be a baseline player that Simpson was last year. I think the question is Myers. I'd like to see the Jets add some interior depth. I don't think Josh Myers should just get a starting job. Like, let me ask Aaron Glenn this, because I think he's been inconsistent with this. Last year, Joe Tippmann, who now the Jets have paid, by the way, right? He had to sing for his supper a year ago. Remember Joe Tippmann was in a Fakakta starting center battle with Myers? Never made any sense. Tippmann's better than Myers. We knew that all summer. And Tippmann was going to win the job. And then AVT got hurt, so Tippmann slid over to guard. And then Myers played center. But last year, Joe Tippmann had to win a battle against Josh Myers. Why does Josh Myers get to just be the starting center? If I'm the Jets, I'd be looking to upgrade there. If I'm Darren Muji, I'm scouring other teams, the waiver wire. Like, I thought Ethan Posick would have made sense for the Jets when he became available after the Browns got rid of him. The Ravens signed him, and that's what smart organizations do. Like, I thought that would have been an opportunity for the Jets. I don't think they should just anoint Myers as the starting center. Last year, Tippmann had to earn the starting center job, and he's better than Myers. So that, to me, doesn't make much sense. I hope someone asks Glenn about that. Football guy says, I just need to know how this team plays man. I need to see the 2-minute offense. Geno in the 2-minute drill, baby. Geno Smith throwing it back to 2013 in Atlanta against the Falcons. Game-winning drive. A big Jeremy Curley and Jeff Cumberland night, if memory serves. Throwing it back to that. What a world. What a world. Ladies and gentlemen, football season is almost here, which means it's almost that time to enter Circa's Pro Football Betting Contest.
The biggest contest we've ever seen.
Seriously, what's the guarantee?
They're still talking about it.
I think it's time to put the rumors to rest.
Showtime.
$30 million.
$30 million?
$30 million? $30 million?
That's $30 million guaranteed. 3 contests, multiple ways to win, no rate. Entry starting at $1,000. Enter in Nevada, play from anywhere.
I won't lie. I've already started looking at the week 1 slate. Because if we enter the Circa Survivor, the Asmaniacs, if we have a team this year, and I go out there to Vegas next month, we're going to need a week 1 pick. Last year, the most trendy pick for week 1 was the Titans in Denver. And Tennessee almost stole that game. Denver won, but they almost stole that game. I'm curious what the most lopsided survivor pool pick will be for week 1 this year. Saints at Lions. Are people going to be on Detroit? Browns at the Jaguars. A lot of people will be on Jacksonville. I don't think you could touch Dolphins Raiders, right? You don't know what those teams are this early. Both not supposed to be very good. Commanders, Eagles, can't touch that. Cardinals, Chargers, that's going to be probably the most picked game. That's the game right there. Most people in their survivor pools in week 1 will be looking directly at Cardinals, Chargers. Chargers are an 11.5-point favorite in that game. I believe that's the highest number on the board for week 1 of the NFL season. It is. Jets, by the way, are 3-point underdogs against the Titans in the opener. Better win that game, Glenn. Must win. I think the 2 most popular picked survivor pool games for the NFL in week 1 are going to be Cardinals at the Chargers. People are going to take the Chargers at home. And then the Browns at the Jaguars. Jacksonville's a 7.5-point favorite. That is the second highest point spread number on the board. So those are probably the 2 games that most people in their survivor pool, people are going to be on. Nick Shine says Steelers over Falcons. That's risky, though, right? First game for McCarthy. Rodgers has a history of starting slow, if you guys recall. That's right. I'd stay away from that. That would scare me. I could see the Falcons starting hot. Got a new coach. Stefanski gets the most out of Tua before his body breaks down. Something like that. Football guy says, what about Cowboy Giants? Are we that sure the Cowboys are just going to win that game? Their defense stinks. The Giants have a real coach. I'd lean Dallas. But are we that convinced they're definitely going to win? I can see the Giants winning that game. I think some people are going to pick the Titans in their survivor pool, by the way. So hopefully the Jets knock some people out of their pools immediately. Comments, questions, super chats. They cut the line. We're going to get right back to your calls on the show. So if you want in, now is certainly the time. I do have a question for our next caller. He has a rivalry with Mad Max. But back in the day, these two didn't always hate one another. I take you back to the time Beastbreaker appeared on the Mad Max program.
Storm Rocket says, hey, Max. And then Storm Rocket says, how are you? I'm good, Storm Rocket. Thunder Beast entered the studio.
I will talk to you next time there, Chief.
Thunder Beast logger points.
Beast, what happened between you and Mad Max?
I know what's going on. It's called when you smell the stench of shit and syphilis, and then the tournament and then all the other critical BS. That's when you already know the lines in the sand were already drawn. See, it's like
Fix your echo.
Fix your echo. Give me a second. We're gonna go do something very nice. Try a little ballet. Oh, this hurts like a son of a bitch. I know how ballet feels. Ooh. There you go. I tell you, I hate ballet. I'll never go for it. But I'm gonna say this: those days are behind me. It's time we move to the future. And right now, the future for me is brighter. I have a headset on.
You fixed it. Well done.
What do you think these Sonys are for? Yo,
fixing the echo.
It's like Spaceballs. You ever see the movie?
Barbarossa writes in, happy poop. Happy poop to you, Barbarossa. Robert C. says, I'm worrying about the Titans game is that it's on the road. Or says the worrying thing about the Titans game is that it's on the road. Well, that's been long established, though. that's not a new development. We've known they're going to Nashville week 1 to open the year since May. When did the schedule come out? Late April? No, late April was the draft. So I guess mid-May the schedule came out. We've known that. I don't think Tennessee is this like crazy, intimidating environment the Jets are walking into. They're not going to Foxborough or Buffalo. There'll be a ton of Jet fans there. I don't think it's worrying at all. The weather will be nice. They won there 2 years ago. They opened the season there in 2006 and they won. Remember that? Pennington and Mangini's first game. I think Gator nails it. The worrying thing about the Titans game is that the Jets are playing in that game. And it's a gigantic game for shaping the outlook of our entire season. That's the worrying part. The Jets have to play football. That's what's concerning. I thought it's on the road. They can win on the road. I'm not worried about that. I don't think it's going to be this like crazy environment. I think there'll be a lot of Jet fans there. And Titans fans, they care about their team, but I don't think it's like, you know, a fan base that you're intimidated about. I think they'll be all right. We're going to be there. So can the Jets please win? I really don't ask for much because we don't get anything from this team. I'm asking for the Jets to go out there and win in front of the Asmaniacs. Big party the day before at Barstool, Nashville. Big party with game day flight crew the next day, our tailgate. That's what needs to happen here. Also, the second they hired Saleh, we all knew that was the game week one. Like, we said it on the show. We were all expecting it. I said it 1,000 times. It would have been an upset if the Jets weren't playing in Nashville week one. That was one of the predictions I've had nailed more than any other thing I've said on the show. Adam is too cool was on the line. He just dropped off. So if you want in on the show, now's the time. I mentioned Chad Pennington in 06. How about when they signed Chad Pennington ball on our show today? It includes the display case. The seller I bought it from was nice enough to include the display case. So I appreciate that. Chad Pennington signed football, certificate of authentication, of course, included. Gift a membership or send it a $10 super chat to qualify for your chance to win this. Let's get back to your outstanding calls right now. Ladies and gentlemen, a father of three is on the line.
Adam is cool, although kind of basic. He claims he's too cool, though often quite basic. He makes great jet points, looks a little basic. Adam is cool, too cool, but basic. Some would say generic.
Hey, Jake. What's up, man?
Adam.
Yeah, week one is going to be crazy for Survivor. I actually think this is a really nuts week. Like, there's no, like, surefire matchup that you feel really great about. Even with the Chargers, like, you know, like, teams always surprise. Like, does anyone remember that the Raiders beat the Patriots week one?
And remember 2 years ago, the Patriots beat the Bengals?
Yeah, like, just wacky. It's very hard to predict these things. But actually, I've been meaning to ask this question. I was thinking week one is always like remember when Justin Fields' first start and everything looked great on offense and we were all like drinking the Kool-Aid. What do we think our week one mirage is going to be? Because I think that they'd be very, as a Jets team, like what do we think is going to be like an unusual like outcome in week one that's not going to necessarily translate to the rest of the season just because of the newness and the randomness that happens in week one? What do you think?
That's impossible to say. You know, I just hope it's the Jets winning because remember last year I was the last person alive in the ESPN New York Survivor pool because I faded the Jets every week. Like I wanted to be eliminated week one, and I picked the Steelers, and then week two I picked the Bills. Week three, like I kept going until I was the last guy standing in the Survivor pool.
It's whack. I forgot how it is interesting. Like. There's so many different streaks we could look at too. We can look at like the interception streak, right? Like we can look at passing. Like, will we have a crazy passing game? Like, will Geno throw for 350 yards or something in a shootout against Saleh's defense? And like we'll think, oh my God, our offense is back. Or will it be like we get 2 picks and all of a sudden we're back baby on defense, and then it's not really the case. So I always think like we put a lot of stock in week one, and I think that we are running into this trap of like putting the whole season on the line against a Titans team. But like there is there is a whole season to play, and like even if you have one loss, you can overcome it. It's just I know the taste in our mouths will be ever so bitter if we don't win this matchup, especially with such a contingent going. So I just hope we don't put ourselves under too much pressure and not to take week one that seriously, because I think that if we do, it could really run the trap of like setting different expectations for the season.
We need to win week one, Adam.
I know we do. We need to win every week. Every week is a must-win week for this regime and for a lot of players who like this is their last hurrah. This is their last chance to like get a really good contract, and it's going to be really. It'll be interesting to see what Reich's offense looks like. I actually think the Kenyon Sadiq factor is going to be interesting. Like, what are we realistically expecting out of him this week one, let alone the whole season? Like, we have this idea in our head of what he's going to be doing based on what he did at Oregon. So, like, what does that look like for the offense? Like, we haven't had a tight end like this in a while.
Yeah,
so
it comes down to can Frank Reich find ways to use him? I mean, he should play a lot, though. I want him out there in every formation possible because I think he's a guy you have to respect his presence when he's out there.
Yeah, and at least I know that the ball's going to reach him. But I think it'll be interesting to see what his welcome to the NFL moment's going to be. Like if he actually gets rocked by somebody for the first time, and like he gets a taste of like the real NFL action in the dirt. But I think he'll get back up. We know he's a tough dude. He played with a hernia like the whole season on a competitive team, so he's certainly tough enough. Maybe we see something interesting out of Mason Taylor. That maybe the idea of having Sadiq there pushes Mason Taylor, because like let's be real, who was he really competing with as a pass catching tight end last year? Like not much. So I hope that they push each other, and I think that I actually think the other take in terms of like overall takes, I think it's interesting that we've already anointed AD Mitchell wide receiver 2 when I think Omar Cooper could end up being wide receiver 2 by the end of the season. I just have this hunch that we're putting a lot of stock.
We're hoping he does. I mean, that's what you drafted him to be.
Yeah. So, but anyway, I think he's going to be fantastic. I think that the IU players are going to show up, and I'm very biased in that opinion. And I think we're going to have a great game. I just, everyone just got to pump the brakes just a tiny bit on expectations, because even if we win against Tennessee, that may not be how we actually win games for the rest of the season. So that's kind of my take on it. And shout out to the Asmaniacs as always. Catch y'all later.
Adam, your onesie for your newborn is on the way, all right?
Can't wait. Pictures, they're coming.
Yes.
Hey, congrats on the sex.
Father of 3, Adam is too cool. Robert C. says the Jets did beat a 10-0 Titans team on the road in 08, a great forgotten regular season victory. I don't think that's forgotten, Robert. That was the high point of the year. The Jets beat the 10-0 Titans on the road, and the week prior, they beat the Patriots on Thursday Night Football in overtime. They were the favorites to win the AFC after that game. They were 8-3. Favre got hurt, played through the bicep injury, it cooked their season. That Jet team could have won a Super Bowl. That's how good they were. You could make a case the 08 Jets were the most talented team the Jets have had the last 26 years. Or whenever 98 was, since 98. Longer than that. 28 years. That was the high point because they were 8-3. And remember, the Giants were really good that year too, coming off their Super Bowl title. They went 12-4 that year, but their season got cooked when Plaxico, that dumbass, shot himself. By the way, hey, Plaxico Burress, before you take your stupid pot shots at the Jets saying, going to the Jets was like going to prison, or whatever dumbass comment he made. Remember, when the Jets signed his bum ass, they were coming off 2 straight championship games. They were not a doormat franchise. That was just like a cheap shot he took. Moron who shot himself. Fool. Those are my thoughts on those comments that people keep tagging me in about Plaxico. Utter moron. Oh, it's like prison playing for the Jets. Dumb. You can say a lot of things about the Jets, but in those years, they were a really good team. And they made the playoffs 6 of the last 10 years prior to signing Plaxico Burress, which was a horrible mistake. Replacing Braylon Edwards with Plaxico Burress and Derek Mason replacing Jericho Cotchery for Derek Mason was the downfall of those Jet teams. Destroyed them. Especially getting rid of Cotchery. What that did for chemistry and Sanchez. I mean, it's the biggest mistake Mike Tannenbaum made as Jets GM. And I've said this to Mike. I don't think he'd disagree either. But that win over the Titans when they won that game, I mean, they were the favorites to win the Super Bowl. Remember, Brady was hurt. He was out all year. Pat still went 11-5. Dolphins, of course, end up winning the division with Chad because it's so Jets. The Jets were 8-3. They collapsed and finished 9-7. It cost Mangini his job, and then in comes Rex Ryan. I think it doesn't hurt as much as a Jet fan because the success they had after it immediately followed. Like Favre left the Jets. He stayed healthy in Minnesota that first year and had one of the best seasons of his career. He was incredible. So think about that. Abu Jacob checks in. Jake, the thing that keeps worrying me is when we made the trade for Sweat, Titans fans were happy for a reason. Some were, but you know who wasn't happy when they made that deal? Jeffrey Simmons. There were Jet fans happy when the Jets got rid of Jermaine Johnson. I think Jermaine could be really good for Salah again. So it goes both ways. I'm not putting too much stock in that. It wasn't universal. Devin in the raffle for 4 says, I believe this year turns around with next year for sure better. Go Jets. There's light at the end of the tunnel. I've said that. I think we have a general manager. I don't think we have a head coach, but he's going to get the opportunity to prove whether or not myself and many who feel that way are right or wrong.
Play call is my superpower, really.
We're going to find out. Zach Attack with some dumbassery here says, Jake would rather finish 3-14 than finish 7-10 or 8-9 if it ensured AG out of the building. No, I'd rather go 8-9 because that would tell me that Glenn clearly did something right. If they won 8 games, no one's done that as a Jet coach in a decade. 7-10 is borderline. I think 8-9 shows me something, but let's see what it looks like. I think I'd rather go 3-14 again than 6-11 if it plays out where they're not in position to get one of the quarterbacks. Unless you're guaranteeing me the Colts are worse than the Jets, and that's our path to getting that guy. Again, I know the Jets could trade up for their quarterback. They have 3 ones. They could use picks next year. My hope is that there's enough good quarterbacks in this draft next year that they don't have to use any of these picks to move up. Obviously, you acquire the picks to move up if you have to. That's going to be their big swing at quarterback. They built the team to do that. I get it. But in an ideal world, only one of your 3 first-round picks needs to be used on a quarterback, and you're in position where you go into the draft with still 2 additional first-round picks. Maybe you trade back and get another first-rounder next year, and you just keep having every year where you have at least 2 ones and keep the streak rolling. It just allows you a lot of opportunity. But if you tell me the Jets are going to win 6 games, or I could guarantee they're going to win 3, how are we saying 6 is better? That's how I look at it. Big fella with a super chat. I was there 2 years ago. We'll take over the stadium. Titans fans are nice. They do a stupid, annoying chant, and that's it. Well, to be fair, we do the Jet chant, which I'm sure annoys other teams as well, but every fan base has their thing. But I love the Jet chant. Best chant in sports, baby. And we will be there, big fella. Big fella will lead us to glory. More of your calls right now. Let's say hello to Rob, who's next today. Hello, Rob.
Yo, what's going on?
What's up, Rob?
Nothing much. I just wanted to hop on here real quick. I forgot. I can't remember who the last caller was. He brought up a couple good points, but the one thing that I've noticed that's like a common trend within the Jet fan base is I don't understand why the fan base isn't more excited about AD Mitchell. In my opinion, you look at it and it's like, okay, the guy was a former second round pick a few years back. And we kind of stole him on the trade we got all those picks from Indy to get rid of Sauce for. And it's like, why don't we want this guy to be, a solid 2? Of course, we want to root for Omar Cooper Jr. Yes, we just drafted him in the first round. But, why aren't we more excited about AD? I don't really get it. He didn't play much in Indy. He didn't have the confidence from that coaching staff. And then he came over. The first game he played was a Thursday night game in New England. Just learned the system in about a week and a half, whatever it was, until he got on the field. And yeah, he had a couple drops, but he was creating separation. He looked explosive. And then as the confidence went on through the coaching staff into him, he started playing well across the stretch. And he was like a standout toward the end of the season with Brady Cook at quarterback. So it's like, try to help me understand why Jet fans aren't more excited about AD Mitchell is my point.
I mean, he had, 20-something catches in 8 games with the Jets? Wasn't a lot. A lot of the hype is in spring practices when He's not wearing full pads, and you're going up against air in a lot of cases, right? So
Sure.
I think people just want to see it. There's more hype about Cooper because we saw it in college. Like we all watched Indiana. They were great this year. We scouted Mendoza starting in October. So if you watched Indiana, you saw Omar Cooper Jr. He was awesome. Like he had the greatest catch in the sport the past year against Penn State. So I think that's the difference. You're always excited about draft picks, first round guys. And let's be real, a lot of people weren't watching the Jets at the end of last year. So when A.D. Mitchell was doing things, how many people were locked into that over just watching Red Zone or whatever the top game was on at the same time, and you're flipping through channels to check the Jet score? Like, I don't blame some fans for doing that. The Jets were unwatchable last year. It's my job to watch them, and I'm sick in the head, and I'm a diehard, so I'm not going to miss a snap of Brady Cook under center, but I get those who don't.
Yeah, I'm the same exact way. Like I'll watch them through and through. I'll put myself through the torture. I'm a diehard just like you. And the game that stands out to me the most was the Jacksonville game at the end of the season last year. He played really well, and he started coming into his own when him and Mechie actually started.
What was the score in that game?
I mean, I don't.
He got killed. So I think a lot of people checked out. You know, they saw the first touchdown he threw to Brady Cook threw to him, and that was maybe it.
Yeah, but I mean, listen, nonetheless, like we've all learned to temper expectations over the last X amount of years since we've gotten Rodgers and that whole Salah saga and everything. So I understand. Like, I'm not blaming any Jets fans for anything. I don't blame anyone to feel any way that they feel what this organization has done to us. But I mean, I think there's reasons to be slightly optimistic outside of Aaron Glenn, like what Muji's doing with some of the young pieces on the roster. I think you say it best. I tune into the show quite a bit. We're a coach away, essentially. If Glenn doesn't work out, we're going to be in a good spot because of the way that Muji's compiled draft capital and what we look like in the next X amount of years with all these first round picks. We're going to be in an attractive spot for a coach, for a potential, for a rookie quarterback, or say one of these quarterbacks shakes free and we want to trade for someone who's been playing already, which I don't want to do, but just saying, for instance, or other free agent players as well. Like, we're not going to be unattractive. So, I agree with you on this point that you say a lot. I don't think Glenn and Muji are attached at the hip anymore. I hope not, because I could totally see Woody trying to blow that up and firing both, which would suck. But, I mean, there's reasons to be optimistic, I think. And this year, I don't think is going to be an exact reflection of that. Hopefully it does. Like, maybe we get 6 to 8 wins, which would be remarkable. I think that's what would probably keep Glenn here for a third year. But it's tough to say. We got to see it.
Got to see it to believe it. Rob, excellent call. I hope you call in more again.
Yeah, no doubt.
Ladies and gentlemen, Rob checking in. I don't think Woody would want to fire both, because he's going to have to pay both to not work for them and then hire 2 new guys in the same role. I think Muji's here. The scenario where Muji's out is if all these young players suck. Like, if Bailey looks like a huge bust, that would hurt him. If Gino's just a disaster, that would hurt him. If none of the younger players like Membu or Mason Taylor take steps forward, like if it just looks awful. But again, people told me Joe Shane was gone. No way. And he survived and got to, I don't want to say hire Harbaugh. That wasn't his hire. It was basically like, bend the knee to Harbaugh. You're gone. See if you guys can work together, and they can. But like, he survived with the Giants. Like, I think Muji's here. I think Glenn is the one who's got to earn the right to be here for a third year. Indy Jets checking in. Hope you're doing well, Indy. He says, hey, Jake, and you crazy-ass maniacs, thanks for all you do and building this crazy-ass maniac family. Y'all are more than Jets fans to me. Your family. Indy, we love you, man. Hope you're hanging in. Open phone lines for those of you who want in. I want to give some love to a guy that I hung out with at Gangrene Beach Club a few weeks ago. Blitz BK, super talented guy. He always is tuned into this show and Nick Shine's show and a bunch of the Jet content creators. He's a rapper. So he made a rap all about me and this show. It's called Ride with Jake. I'm going to play it and we'll come back, get to your final calls, announce a winner for the Azzy Awards, and a whole lot more. So here's the debut of the new hit song from listener Blitz BK, Ride with Jake. It is indeed the Jake Asman Show. We have a lot to talk about today on the show. Make sure you click the like button and you are subscribed to the channel. Reminder,
win or lose, we never break. Every day that we ride and we ride with Jake. Hit the live, quarter line if you gotta take. Every fan got a voice when we ride with Jake. Win or lose, we never break. Every day that we ride and we ride with Jake. Hit the live, call the line if you gotta take. Every fan got a voice when we ride with Jake. Wake up coffee in the morning, watch the comments flying. Always speak our truth, we got the heart and pride of lions. As maniacs, always loud, we never silent. Drop your takes inside the chat or grab the line and dial in. Super chat, skip the line, you can pay it online. People complain all the time, how we ain't got a line. How we never got a coach, and the QB in his prime. Or an OC with an innovative play design. Rumors get dissected, your tapes get inspected. Talking out your neck, expect to get corrected. Draft board, cap spaces, rosters get projected. Win, lose, or draw, we will always judge the effort. Join the Discord, that's how we all stay connected. Same dream, same pain, we all stay invested. It's always just forever, our faith's been accepted. Dream through our veins, this can never be questioned.
You guys are the best. I leave you with this short clip. Sit back, bask in the glory of all of it, and we'll talk to you soon. JETS, 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 Jets.
Yeah. Win or lose, we never break. Every day that we ride and we ride with Jake. Hit the live, call the line if you gotta take. Every fan got a voice when we ride with Jake. Win or lose, we never break. Every day that we ride and we ride with Jake. Hit the live, call the line if you gotta take. Every fan got a voice when we ride with Jake.
Shout out to Blitz. So cool. So cool. How did YouTube allow this as a name? I don't feel this way. I want to make it clear. But AG is a terrorist, has super chatted us. He used to be Jetpack 615, as it says there. Can't wait to see you and everyone else in Nashville. I was praying 615 would be the Asman game for this year. Go Jets. All right, AG we'll see you there. Unreal. How did YouTube allow that? Unreal. Last chance to get in on the raffle for the show. Pennington signed football up for grabs. If you want in, let's say hello to our next caller. Ralphie Rocks joins us. Hello, Ralphie.
Hey, how are you, Jake?
What's up, Ralphie?
I mean, you're a capitalist. You'll take your money, super chats from anybody. No matter what.
I'll read it.
Yeah. Anyone can be a terrorist if it's a $5 or more super chat. Doesn't matter.
I guess so.
The offense. I think the offense is going to be great. I mean, we're loaded with first and second round picks. I think it's going to be much, much improved. And Reich, even though he's older, pretty good. So I'm pretty good there. I mean, the defense, we got a lot to go. But we're not going to know anything until we have a scrimmage against another team and then start playing the game. So we still have like another, 4 or 5 weeks to figure out what the offense is going to be.
And even that lies to you, too, because the Jets destroyed the Commanders in a joint practice I was at a couple of years ago, and the Jets sucked, and the Commanders went to the NFC title game with a rookie quarterback. So, you just never know even in that.
Who do we scrimmage against this year?
Tampa.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I mean, we're going to have hopium until then, but it's just a matter of, we are loaded. I mean, you have 2 first rounders and a second rounder.
It's all potential, though. It should be if they pan out.
I mean, you got to hope a few guys are worth their draft picks, slots. I mean, Cooper and Wilson and the guys on the old line. I mean, yeah. I mean, it's pretty good. I mean, every position has a first or second rounder. So
it should look again. They have talent. I agree with you. I just think we got to see it.
I mean, and Gino at this point, I mean, he's just a facilitator. But again, if guys get separation, if the offensive line does its thing. So I'm definitely a little bit happier there. And certainly you're right. 5, 6, or 7 wins is like purgatory. No good. Like you're just staying still on the wheel. You're not getting a better draft pick, and you're not really having momentum so that people are going to want to be here. So we need either 8 or we need like 2 or 3. Well, we got to be somewhere in that area.
Agreed. I do agree with that.
I loved your interview with Mike Greenberg. Really good on the radio. And if he's listening, playing it back, I like to say hello to him. That was really good. I mean, he's like the Wayne Corbett of talk show hosts for us. He's like one of us. He dies with the Jets. So I love that guy when it comes to the Jets. And then the last thing I'll say is I think Gary should win best takes this year because salads are actually trying to kill us with this parasite that's coming up that is in the salads from Costco and Taco Bell. So Gary's right.
Are you saying Gary was ahead of his time?
No, I think if you throw enough things out there, you're going to be right once in a while, and he's right on this one. This summer, salads are trying to kill us.
You might be right.
Yeah. And hey, vote for me for Bald is Beautiful also, by the way.
Oh yeah.
I think that's the category, I think. Bald.
I could confirm that with you. It's a highly coveted category as well.
You know, I put a picture of me in your Discord of having an afro back in the day. But
you're up for the award up against the Chuck Wagon, NY Jet Florida Ted, and Kyle Clifton.
Okay. I feel good about that one. My wife makes me go to a barber every week to make sure it's nicely coiffed. So
looking fresh.
And you might say that, what the hell are you doing? But otherwise it grows here. And the fact that I have male pattern baldness here, it would look like Bozo the Clown. So, or as she likes to say, you have like too much pubic hair growing, just get rid of it. So every week I go to the barber. It gives me 10 minutes to chat to somebody, get a hot towel when I'm done. So I think I'm pretty deserving of that one. I got a good shot.
Ralphie, you're the man. Great
Talk to
call.
you, Jake. Have a good one.
Ralphie Rocks checking in. Excellent call from him. Ozzy Fullers. Is today the day Ozzy finally wins a prize? He gifted another membership. Let's go. Ozzy in for one. Frank P with a $20 super chat says, Jake, put these in for Ozzy. Ozzy with 4 more. Is today his time? Frank P, very nice of you. Thank you. Keep it rolling with your calls. The guy whose name was Aaron Glenn is a terrorist is on the line. Jetpack 615 is next. Hello, Jetpack.
Hey, what up, Jake? I can't hear you right now. Can you hear me?
I hear you. You don't hear me?
Can you hear me? I can't hear anything.
Let me bring my tech guy on. Stand by. Beast, what do we got?
Hey, I can't hear anything. Can you hear me? I can hear Beast.
He needs to push 3 things. Control, Alt, and Delete. Restart your program. Control, Alt, and Delete.
Yes, sir. How we doing, Beast Breaker?
Control, Alt, Delete. Do all
Hell
3.
Yeah.
Restart. Restart. Now's the time.
I wish I could control Alt Delete the last 15 years of memories of being a Jets fan, low key.
And I notice you're wearing the perfect choice. West Side Choppers. Very
Yes,
good.
sir. Yes,
Very
sir. Jesse
good.
James. Jesse James, the
Right.
legend.
And you know who else also wore that? The Undertaker with balls of steel. You know why? Anybody who wears OCC, Orange County Choppers, or West Side Choppers, you know you're a man because you got the balls for it. If you don't have the balls and you're wearing FUBU or whatever crap Gap or whatever that fruity crap is, you're not even worthy of being a man. You're just what's
Yeah, B, sometimes I don't know what the hell you're talking about.
Hold on. Where'd Jetpack go? Jetpack, are you there, Jetpack?
I still can't hear anything.
Can you hear me?
Can't hear anything.
Reset your browser.
Can you hear
Can
me?
anyone else hear? I can hear
you.
Beast just fine.
Beast, tell him to reset his StreamYard.
Oh, no.
You got a phone? You got your phone?
Yeah, I can hear him.
Tell him to
Yeah, I
reset
got my
his
phone.
StreamYard.
You got your phone? All right. Push the restart button.
No, not on his phone.
On my phone?
Tell him to refresh his browser.
I'm confused.
Refresh your browser. Refresh
Okay.
your browser.
Thank you. Thank you. Good God. What a world we live in here. More calls while we wait. Ladies and gentlemen. Actually, you know what? He called back in. Jetpack, let's try it one more time.
Okay,
Jetpack,
now I
you there?
can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Can you
I don't
hear
know
me?
what was going on with that. Sorry.
God. Good job.
Anyways, bro, I just wanted to explain the username. I know it's crazy, but bro, I've been a Jets fan since 1998. I don't know if you remember, but I was there in London, met you at the big Jets meetup over there. And dude, just watching the last season, man, I was just, you always feel like it can't get worse, and then just the last few weeks of the season were just like unwatchable. And I watch every minute of every game. And then I don't know, after the season, he just fires all the staff and takes over the play calls. I'm like, bro, this guy is just terrorizing my football team. You know what I mean? I didn't know. I just thought it was funny. I can change it, but if we win week 1, I will change it. I promise.
Okay, so
I want to be proven wrong.
If they win week 1,
I will change the username if we win week 1. I'm going to be at Barstool Saturday night with you guys. I'll be at the tailgate. I'll be at the game. Obviously, I'll be rocking all my Jets gear. I really, really hope we can win that game. But, man, I don't know, dude. It's been a long time, bro. It's been a long time since we've been good. You know what I mean?
Where are you calling us from, Jetpack?
What happened?
Where are you calling us from?
Nashville.
So you live in Nashville?
Yes, sir.
And it looks like you're in like a TV studio right now.
I sell vintage clothing for a living, so I'm like in my studio. I take a lot of pictures and stuff. So today I'm 34. I'm 35. I turn 36 tomorrow. So I'm doing like a big like birthday whatnot show tonight, selling a bunch of clothes and stuff. So
awesome. Well, happy early birthday then, Jetpack.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. I'm originally from Orange County. There's a great group of Jets fans in Orange County called Orange County Jets fans. I would meet up there with them all the time at like, dude, the Jets games would start at like, I don't even know, like 10 o'clock or something. And we'd all be there locked in, wearing all our Jets gear, having some beers and drinks. And there's a great group of Jets fans out there in Orange County, California. So I'm looking forward to seeing everyone. I love the Jets. I always will. And, man, one day, all of this will be worth it. And we're going to be great. And it's going to be fucking awesome.
Amen. We'll see you in Nashville, Jetpack. Good call.
I'll see you there. Right? I'll see you there, buddy. Love you.
J-E-T-S. Jess. All right, let's go.
Looking forward to meeting Jetpack again. Or I guess I met him in London, he said, but seeing him again at our next event. Ladies and gentlemen, this was just sent to me. I'm going to need Beast to confirm whether or not this is real or not. Apparently, Beast and Mad Max ate cake together last night. This can't be right. Let me ask him.
I saw something I didn't like there. I might have to cut that out.
Yeah, is this real or no?
Fake. I would have picked him up right over my head, 10 feet high, right launched into the 6th row, right where the popcorn vendors where they go, where they yell out, peanuts, popcorn, soda pop, peanuts, popcorn, soda pop, candy bars, get them while they're hot. Oh, one more thing. Vote for Lou B, Rookie of the Year. Vote for Lou B, Mr. Rookie of the Year. You know what time it is? Yeah, you know what time it is. Oh, we ready for that wheel.
No, we're not. Beast, do you think that you're going to win the What the F Are You Talking About award this afternoon?
Hey, let me say it's about one thing. In this world today, it's not about awards. It's not about titles. It's about courage. I've done my bleeding in battle. I've learned a lot in things. And let me just say this about life. My daughter came back to me not too long ago. Things have changed. I've gotten my head straight. My eyes are back on focus mode. All I got to do is play the word control. Play smart. Play small ball. You'll learn to win big games. You play big games, you lose. See, there's a big.
What was the last big game you played in?
Wins games. Oh, it's been 100 years. But here's what I'm pointing it out. Play big ball, you lose. Play small ball, you win. Now, for your Yankees, if you guys want to win a world title,
yeah, B, sometimes I don't know what the hell you're talking about.
More of your calls right now, ladies and gentlemen. This man is up for several Azzy Awards, including Best Intro.
What's up, Jake?
Hello, Rooster.
Do you know how lucky you are to find that beast? I mean, not only that you found this so-called Jet fan in the middle of nowhere that he's your IT guy. I mean, he's personality. It's incredible. What
35 awards. I mean, he's a generational Asmaniac. There's no
it's
way around
a Hall of Fame career. It's incredible. Did you read Dunleavy's article in the Post today on the Jets?
I did not. No.
Go home and read it. He said that Jets have realistic, big blueprint to follow this season. He thinks that if the Jets do what the Giants did last year, meaning be ahead of 10 games, that's showing that you can actually compete but lose, is the best case scenario. And then have the high draft pick, but show that you could compete instead of, I mean, come on. Can we go into a season at least thinking that we're going to, not lose football games? You have to go into a season thinking you're going to win football games. I mean, just as a competitor, when the game starts, that's it. That's the greatest thing about football. It's once a week. And come every Sunday, I don't even care when we're 1-13. I want to win that football game.
No, come on. They're 1-13.
You know what happens? I just start rooting, and I hate everyone else with such a passion, and that's a little extreme. But let's talk week 1.
I agree with the premise. I'm rooting for wins. I'm not giving up on the year until there's a reason to. If they lose week 1 and then lose their next 3 and they're 0-4, you can't tell me that winning at that point is in the best interest. I won't be outright disgusted if they beat the Browns because they are going to win games. They're not going to go 0-17. But if we got as deep as we did with Gase in 2020, where they were 0-12 or 0-13 before that Rams win, that would be devastating. That should not happen.
I honestly believe that's not going to be the case this year. I honestly believe with competent quarterback play, competent offensive coordinator, a defense that cannot possibly be worse than last year, that there are winnable games out there and that we're going to sneak a few out. But I'm just going to try to be optimistic this year. Coming off that Nick championship, how can you not be optimistic? We got to be optimistic. Let's get that. But here's a couple takes. One on Mitchell. The problem with AD Mitchell is catch the football. He has the drops. And I don't care what he shows out in shells. It means nothing to me. He's catching balls in shorts. It's a lot different. He's got to catch the football. There's a reason why don't tell me he was blocked on Indianapolis. He couldn't catch the football. If he could catch the football, he had some bad drops here. He showed some things. If he learned this year to hold on to the football, yeah, he could be good. But there's a lot of question marks with AD Mitchell out there. I mean, it just is.
Again, there's talent. There's
100%.
No reason for this team not to be a watchable product at the bare minimum.
No.
Score points and be entertaining.
And Breece Hall, as a gambler, I do believe that I don't think they're going to overuse him at the beginning of the year in the goal line. I do think he's got that Detroit. He saw the Montgomery, the Gibbs thing. I do think they believe Braylon Allen. And remember, before the fumble, before the disgusting how he got injured, Braylon Allen looked the part. It looked like he was getting going for him. I do think we're going to use Breece all over the place, but inside that goal line would not surprise me if you're going to see Braylon Allen early and hoping that he could become that guy to take some of the wear and tear off Breece, pound him in the end zone. Maybe it's Isaiah Davis. We signed him, but that doesn't mean we want to run him into the ground. You want to use him properly, get him the ball like we all know on screens and run them all. But this isn't modern NFL. Most teams do like to play a couple backs. He saw it live in Detroit with Gibbs and Montgomery. So I am hoping Braylon Allen does come back, has a nice role on this football team, and we could allow Breece Hall not to take extra cracks when he doesn't have. Now, Braylon Allen can't get the job done in the goal line. Yeah, then things change. But I do think that's going to be the beginning. I think we're going to be running Braylon Allen in there on that goal line situation.
Amen. And I'll tell you what, they like Isaiah Davis too, Rooster. He's gonna have a role in this team.
He's good.
Too.
That's what I'm saying. So listen, we got running backs. We can't just say we're gonna run Breece Hall to the ground because we signed him. We signed him for peace of mind. We signed him because we want him there on the football team, and we're gonna use him a lot, but we don't want to kill him.
Well, play him at the same time as Braylon Allen.
Yeah. Mix it up.
Use 2 running back sets. Be creative with your personnel. Brees is one of their better receivers on the team. Hopefully Frank Reich could tap into some of that.
And I had one last thought, and I know you're not going to like it. Let's say this team doesn't bottom out. Let's say this team is 7-8 wins and not in position right away to get a young quarterback, top, 3, top 4, cost you an arm and a leg to move up. I just think that if Joe Burrow and the Bengals struggle a little, I could see the Jets with their ammunition bringing Joe Burrow. Because listen, if we're a 7-win team, a rookie quarterback is now lagging behind what we're looking for. And let's say we like Klubnik just a little too. You bring Joe Burrow in. Klubnik sits behind him for a couple more years.
He's never playing at that point. Burrow's not even 30 years old yet.
Okay, so good. So that's fine. I'm saying if we're not bottomed out, if we're bottomed out, then forget, I don't want Burrow. But if we're thinking to ourselves, we're a quarterback away, and Joe Burrow is done with Cincinnati, they might run who knows? I don't know.
So you're going to trade all 3 first-round
Not all
picks
3. I don't think it'll take all 3. I think you maybe do 2 of your 2 and a second next year and a third next. 2 I would do in a heartbeat. Not all 3. 2 I would do for Joe Burrow. If we're comparing, if we're okay.
Let's see the year he has,
right?
Because is he going to be able to stay healthy? I mean, I'm pretty sure he has a no trade as well that he got in his extension.
But you don't think Broadway Joe, doesn't it kind of feel like Broadway Joe
again?
Broadway?
Like it's not a crazy thought if the year plays out the way you just presented it. But
why not? I mean,
I don't know. I think a more realistic name is like Baker Mayfield and the Bucks haven't been able to agree to a long-term deal at this point. Like if it goes poorly and Bowles is out, maybe they're restarting there. I don't know. I see Jay Quest wrote this is what they did with Rodgers. It's not the same thing.
No, he's
29.
Young,
Rodgers was turning 40. It's not even
prime.
close.
No. He's in his prime. You're bringing in a guy that could be a very good quarterback. Assuming he stays healthy for 4 to 5 years is way different. And he's looking for a change. I'm just thinking if the Jets are a little better than we think.
You're only getting him, though, is if you have a new coach that likes him. Like if you told me that, the Jets hired Mike Tomlin and then Burrow's like, I would play for him.
Or how about let's just rephrase it and say, okay, say we're 7 or 8 wins and there's a Baker Mayfield. I'm not against going that route. Then once again, trying to put all our eggs in a younger quarterback and hoping. Now, 2 wins, 3 wins, forget it. We're up there. We're a ways away. That's kind of the thought process. I think we're going to be a little better.
What if one of those picks, though, is the Colts pick being higher than the Jets, and you get the quarterback that way?
That's different, of course. Now, I'm saying if we don't have that top 10 pick, and
again, it's not a crazy thought because we just got to see how the year plays out. Like I can't say, what if it's a year where there's only 1 or 2 quarterbacks and the Jets can't get them? Then you have to pivot to the veteran market. You're going to at least inquire about the best one and then work your way down. So I don't think you're nuts for the take. I don't hate it. I want to see how it plays out because I can't imagine Joe Burrow is waiving his no trade clause to go play on the MetLife turf for Woody Johnson as his owner and Aaron Glenn as his coach. I can't picture that.
Right. I think finally they're going to get rid of that turf after this year. I really do. I think what you're hearing with the soccer and everything, and I just don't understand. I'm not the smartest guy in the world. Why don't you want to protect your assets? You see them all. Why wouldn't Mara and Johnson switch it? Why? What is the reason? Can you tell me that? Give me one good reason.
Money. They want to do concerts and events and don't want to pay to refurbish the grass.
I get it, but there's so much money. It's so annoying. I mean, that turf, these guys say they play on that. They can't move after this turf. It's so bad.
Beastbreaker says you all need to relax. The turf is fine. You're all acting like babies.
He's right. All right. You know what? It's a great take. Beast, you're right. Listen, Jake, I am going to be so positive this year. We are going to have a fun year.
Come to Nashville, Rooster.
I can't do Nashville. I am already planning my first showing where I'll meet you live is the Dolphin game. August 1st, I can't do that Dolphin meetup. The Rooster will be there. I can't wait to meet everyone live. And it's going to be a big game. And we're all going to be fired up. Let's be positive until not positive. Let's be positive. That's the saying. Until we can't be positive. because we're coming off the Knicks. It's our year. For Rocky Rocks, what Ralphie Rocks, that bald head, I think that's a winning head. The Rooster is out. Love you guys.
Outstanding call for the Rooster. He's great. Oh, man. We got to get the Rooster to an event. Hopefully he does come to that Jets-Dolphins game that we have planned for our home game meetup this year on October 25th. Lock in your tickets. 39 of the 70 have been allocated so far. It's exclusive right now for Patreon, folks. I'll give people a couple weeks into camp here because I know a lot of the audience that tunes out in the summer, they'll be back. So if you want to join us, patreon.com/Jake Asman Show. Huge shout out to Candyman, Terrence Lott, Jay Keats, King of Kings, Bethpage Chris, all for renewing or signing up for Patreon. All right, last chance to get in here. We're going to wrap up the show shortly. We're almost at the 2-hour mark. We got 2 calls left. One from a man who's in competition this Saturday at the Cloverleaf Tavern. Chef Brian. Hello, Brian.
Yo, what's up, Jake? What's up, everyone?
What's up, Brian? You ready?
Oh, I'm always ready, man. I stay ready so we don't have to get ready.
Yeah.
How you doing, Jake? How's everything?
I'm good, man. Training camp's here. There'll be some fresh content, fresh news to react to every day. It's good stuff.
That's good. I see you very busy at the radio station. Hey, man, I'm freaking hurt, man, about my boy. Can't wait. You know, it sucks not having him on the radio anymore. That shit hit home, man. So
yeah, it's a tough business, man. It's a numbers game, and it's unfortunate because Bart's awesome. At least you'll still get to watch him on SNY, and he does some content for the Jets in-house media stuff. So he'll still be around. It's just you won't get him on radio every day.
Yeah. And then I was the tech, man. What's up with the tech? I pressed the buttons that he was saying before I was frozen. I pressed the buttons he said. It took me to some weird website where they had rotisserie guinea pigs and shit.
Really? Let me bring my tech guy on to talk about this. Beast, what happened here?
Beast, I pressed the buttons you said. It took me to some weird website, man.
Are you stupid or something?
Nah, man. That's you, man. You're
supposed to push Control, Alt, and Delete.
Oh, I don't know. I pressed it. It took me to some weird website, Beast. I don't know. You got to check.
I don't know what to tell you, man.
Hey, and listen, Beast.
I don't know if you're blowing my ass or you're trying to stiff me one from behind. I'm not.
Nah. Listen, Beast. After I take care of Chef Kevin, I hope I see you in October.
Oh, don't worry. Don't worry.
Bring your electric grill. I'm gonna bring the outlets. I want to try that attic burger you got over there going on.
Hey, Sonny, it's the Gordon Ramsay boycott. Okay, let's get that fact straight. We're not making smash burgers. That's for kids. You want to be with the big boys, you come with the big boys. Okay, just remember these words. This is where the big boys play. And look at the adjective. Play.
All right, I'll be waiting. I'll be waiting for you, October.
Don't worry.
I'm in Jersey, so I'll be waiting for you.
Hey, just watch your P's and Q's, okay?
All right.
Now, as they say, like Bob Barker would say, hey, help control the pet population. Have your pets sprayed or neutered.
Yeah, B, sometimes I don't know what the hell you're talking about.
Well, I look forward to this upcoming Saturday with you, Chef Brian.
Yeah, it's Sunday, Jake. Oh, and
Saturday.
I thought it was Sunday. He said August 1st.
August 1st is Saturday.
No way. For real? Oh, shit.
You're messing with us.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah, there's no way.
Wait, I have a question. The training camp stuff, you need a ticket for that stuff?
You do need a ticket to go to the actual practice.
Okay.
I've been trying to get some. It just no one has. They only made like under 1,000 available apparently, if even that. So you don't need a ticket to training camp to go to our event. Our event is after the practice, which starts at 8, should be over by 10:30. We'll be at Cloverleaf by 11:15.
All right, I'll be there, man. Hey, come with a empty stomach, man. You're gonna eat some good stuff.
Let's go.
You're not going to be a judge, right? You're not going to be a judge.
I don't think I'm a judge. I got to read the email back. I think I'm just
I don't think you're a judge,
overseeing
but
it.
still, I want you to try my stuff, man. Because
I'm definitely going to try it. I can't wait, Brian.
All right, guys. Have a great day, Jake. And as Maniacs, I'll see y'all there August 1st. You better not miss it.
Let's go.
The Jet fans getting a little crazy.
All right, one last call, and then we'll close voting for the Azzy Awards. Most anticipated return right now, Allen in the lead with 37%, but Morgan, Gary's nanny, still in there at 34%. Vote, vote, vote to determine who wins the Azzy Award. Before we bring on our final caller, shout out to Mimosa, who's in the Asmaniac raffle with this $100 Venmo. That means Mimosa has put herself in the raffle for 20 entries for the Chad Pennington signed football that is up for grabs on today's program. Let's go.
Thank you, Mimosa, for your generosity and tremendous support of the Jake Asman Show.
It's up for grabs this afternoon, so if you can't watch the afternoon show and you want to enter for the weekly raffle, gift a membership or send in a super chat to qualify. How about the Rooster, who had a fantastic call just before? He gifted 5 channel memberships to the community. Let's go.
No, thank you.
Jets. Let's go.
Rooster in for 5. Al Bundy fan. Liberty for Usaw. Kevin Lurger. Jarvis Mooj. Limitless NYC 15. All receiving a gifted membership.
Jet up. Let's go.
Ladies and gentlemen, today's closer is on the line. We say hello to a man who will be at the meetup this Saturday. He will be at practice beforehand. It's Mr. Bonesy.
The only thing better than all them shoes is Joey D, cause he totally rules. Jake, my brother, I'm high as a kite. I love everybody. Damn, this show is crazy.
Let's go. Finally here, man.
Jets football.
It's football time, baby. Let's go. And Brian Morales, I'm a judge Saturday, so you better start sweet talking me. I haven't gotten any sweet texts from you. You better start working your magic. But just Rooster, great call. I honestly agree with Rooster that I would trade probably all 3 first-round picks for Joe Burrow if he was willing to come. To get a type of quarterback of the caliber Joe Burrow is, if you have a healthy O-line and he's healthy, it's Super Bowl or bust every year. Like he's a baller, and he's had a couple of injury-plagued years, but before that, he was so close, man. Like he's a baller. So I would do that. And also on the flip side, Muji, if we've already gone through this with Douglas, Muji is getting his shot at quarterback. He has made these trades that were incredible. I mean, Sauce Gardner, 2 firsts in AD. We can't even, and those are just the big ones. The Quinnen, he's been fantastic. So he's already distanced himself from Glenn. And I think that there's 1,000% chance Muji's getting a chance to draft his quarterback. So, I'm like a broken record here. I'm excited. I think our defense is going to be very veteran savvy team that gets beat on things like, because we have slow linebackers and things like that. I think we're going to be stout against the run. And when the offense is putrid, I think that we'll get a chance to rush the quarterback, and we have some guys that can do that with Bailey and Will. And, our biggest thing will be, like you guys say, week 1. Salah's coming for our heads. Our necks. He wants this game more than us because it's, that's how it is. But we need this week 1. We cannot start off this year, like you said, going 0-3 and 0-4. It's just going to, if we did start off like that, hopefully it's just not about the offense. Like I am a person who is still advocating for Frank Reich that 1 year in Carolina was he didn't want that quarterback. Frank Reich has always been a top 10 rushing attack, a top 10 offense. He is a solid guy who can He can get us to average. We're looking for average offensive play. We want to be 18 to 20 would be fantastic. With a veteran defense that isn't pitiful, we have a lot of guys in good positions that Glenn drafted got veterans in free agency to do, average stuff. We're talking average right now, so I'm excited. I'm hoping we have a injury-free camp. That's my big thing, man. The injuries. We
pray for health. That's first and foremost. But let's hope that everything you're saying happens and they win week 1 and we at least get a season. Again, give me a season.
Right? Just give me a little hope, man. Just it can't be. You know what though? This offseason seems different than last season. Last season's hope with Justin Fields and the hope of Glenn being able to coach up Salah's guys, that was a real hope. Like now, at least, like again, I know I don't know if I'm in the minority about Frank Reich, but he's a veteran coach, so it shouldn't look as bad as it should be average. We should get, and he's got his guys. They let him get the people he wanted. You saw his excitement in the draft room. He wanted Sadiq. Cooper fell into our lap. He wanted Cade. Like let's go, man. We have a lot of young weapons with potential that coaching can help. And if Wright could just be average, I know he's I love Frank's resume. He's old, but he's played the position. You hear quarterbacks talk about, offensive coordinators that have played the position, just like Chad did when he was interviewed a couple weeks ago. But I'm ready for this weekend.
The hopium is back. Bonesy is gobbling all of it. I can't wait.
It's more just I've been advocating about Frank Reich for a long time. I already have made myself clear head with Glenn, where it's like Glenn's a good leader of men. He's a good recruiter. Maybe he's a good, GM type, but he's really hasn't shown anything of being a good coach.
Oh, that's the most important.
Yeah, exactly. But Frank Reich is
coaching quarterback, man. If I told you the Jets had Matt Stafford and Sean McVay coaching them, we'd say the Jets are Super Bowl contenders. If I told you the Jets had Sean Payton and Bo Nix, you'd say they're a team that could get to the playoffs and go on a run. Like if I told you the Jets had Mike McCarthy and Aaron Rodgers, I bet we'd be talking ourselves into this being a playoff team with the defense being better and the offensive line. Like it's coaching and quarterback play. That's so much of this. They have the infrastructure to potentially add the quarterback and maybe the coach. Glenn's got to prove one way or another if he should be here or not. And that's kind of the big takeaway from this season. I'm sure we'll be discussing throughout.
Oh yeah. And I saw someone say in the chat, how is Aaron Glenn showing he's a good leader of men? I just go by,
Bonesy, your audio's all choppy. I got to bring on my tech guy. I need a tech guy.
When a caller sounds like shit and the show's about to split, you need some tech support. Call Beast. Bring on the flabby tits. Beast Baker.
Oh, ha, 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 Gator. Very, very funny spotted. How you doing there, Chief? How you doing? What's wrong with your thingy? It was starting to get like choppy, wee. Is something wrong with that phone of yours? Oh shit. Yep, folks, we're having a lot of problems today, but we'll take care of it one way or the other. Now, let's get back to our feature presentation with DJ Asman. Take it away, brother man. You know what time it is?
When a caller sounds like shit and the show's about to split, you need some tech support. Call Beast. Bring on the flabby tits. Beast Baker.
Bonesy, can we hear you better this time?
Yeah, I don't know what happened with my mic.
All right. There we go. Beast did it again. He saved the day.
He did. But I love you. I'll see you soon, man. Sonny can't wait. I can't wait. It's going to be great, man. I can't wait for this. I can't wait to just hear Glenn talk and start hearing the pressers again. I'm
yeah. Can't wait, baby. Mr. Bones, everybody.
Coaching. It's coaching. Because he can do it. It's just coaching. That's all it is.
Oh, man. Can't wait for a Glenn.
Just don't let go of the rope.
Unbelievable. All right. let's declare an Azzy winner. Most anticipated return Azzy Award. The winner is Alan. For the second day in a row, Alan has won an Azzy, right? Fall from grace. And now most anticipated return. The people want a villain. It's clear. They want Alan back. This was a close one. Alan, 37%. Gary's nanny, Morgan, at 35%. JJ at 19%. Mets 2128 at 9%. Outstanding job by the Asmaniacs voting in this morning's Azzy Award. This afternoon, it's the WTF Are You Talking About Azzy Award. The nominees are Beast, Mad Max, Sean, and Scott. We have that, certainly, to look forward to. Plus the raffle for the signed Chad Pennington football. Joe Blewett's going to be joining me today for our second show. Glenn speaks this afternoon. I'll give you my reaction to any news and notes from that presser with Joe, and we'll talk about this team. Maybe do a little film review on a Jet who's expected to have a big-time season for the offense. Stay tuned for that. Like this video before we get out of here. Again, RSVP if you're coming to our event this Saturday at the Cloverleaf Tavern at Chef Kevin's restaurant. Can't wait to see a ton of you. Meet a bunch of you for the first time. It's going to be awesome. You guys are the greatest. Thanks for watching. Like the video. Subscribe to the channel. Join the Patreon. And I'll talk to you soon. But I won't leave you empty-handed. I leave you with this clip that kind of symbolizes what this show is all about. Sit back and enjoy it. And as always, go Jets.
So, guys, it looks like Glenn, another defensive coordinator without head coaching experience.
Great.
Was that a fart?
Excuse me. Hey, here's the deal. Just got no chance unless you click on that like button. And you got to make sure you subscribe to the Jake Asman Show. You don't, you can get the f*** out. Now let's go, Asmaniacs. We're built for this shit.